for people that are running like 300 horsepower, 320, got the OTS2.
So anybody who wants to mod their car.
I mean, even still, you know, like, should you spend $10,000 in a transmission or spend
They're not $10,000.
Well, you got to think about it. The regular person who's not going to do their own work is going to first buy it, then get somebody to overpricedly pay to get it done.
$7K.
That's still a lot, you know. That's still a lot of money for a car that they may not even keep for the next.
And they never have to replace a transmission again.
I mean,
I need to mute this chat so that way it's not backfeeding.
Oh, by the way, I am live. I forgot to tell you.
I know. I'm literally on it right now. Are you trying to tell me not to say anything I shouldn't say?
I was gonna say save all your remarks for the.
All of my witty remarks, like my Company 23 bottle opener.
Yeah, for the chat. Let me see.
My beautiful Company 23 bottle opener.
How does
link in Oasis description?
Lincoln. Yeah. Sir, please don't make any money off of me. Everybody else already does.
How in this day and age has YouTube not implemented a feature to be able to live stream together? Like
they did, but it's like phone only, which is so stupid. You have to do it on the phone only.
I don't want to do it on my phone.
Everybody else already does. It doesn't make any sense to do it that way.
I don't want to do it. Used STI trans good for a lifetime. It depends on how used it is, how used and abused. I buy all of mine used. I only had an issue with one of them. But in my defense, I bought that transmission knowing it had a problem.
How do I?
I thought I fixed it. I did not. Man, Igor said the Elantra N over the WRX.
Oh, we'll talk about that too. We could definitely discuss that.
I saw.
I've driven that.
I saw my first Elantra N in the wild the other day. Not a terrible looking car, but I don't think it's going to age well.
Personally, I think both the Elantras look really good. The first gen and the second gen look really good.
But I in 10 years, is it going to look good?
Mm-hmm.
You're crazy.
I think so.
You're crazy.
Because they're only going to make those two. there isn't going to be another one, so we don't have a choice.
Up over there? What are you doing?
I'm trying to, where did the chat go on Streamlabs?
I don't know. I just have it pulled up on YouTube.
I did that. I did the pop out too, but I'm just like, where the hell is that? But whatever.
Did you break it?
Yeah, probably. Oh, look at all those white hairs. This is just, my God.
Just let it go gray, man.
I am. As you can see, I've been growing this because my daughter really wants to see me with a mustache.
Yeah, so we talked about this earlier.
So I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, here we go. Live stream number 3, third podcast live stream in 2 months.
But we've got beverages this time.
We do have beverages.
We're on a track. It might not be the right track, but we're on a track.
Oh, we're gonna be saying some stuff tonight. But everybody that's in the chat, King Cat, boys, what a team! 2-6 Warrior use SCI trans good for a lifetime. Yeah, probably. Igor Elantra N versus WRX, maybe. So front wheel drive for a sports car is gross. Rear wheel, I mean,
no, I'm with him on that one. I'm with Austin on that, dude.
Yes, and yeah. See, that's what I was gonna say. 2.6 Warrior. Like, I've driven both generations of Type R's, and I honestly think that they're amazing. And
I mean,
I don't know why.
Put a caveat on the Type R.
I mean, if it's a neon SRT4, yeah, take it. I don't want it. But if it's a Type R,
that's different.
We give Honda a pass because they know how to. Well, they kind of know how to make sports cars.
Smeedia, you ever coming back to the VB? I doubt it. LOL. Honestly, probably not.
Hey, what? Okay, hold on. That's actually, before we even get into the big stuff. What happened to those 2 VBs that you had? You sold them.
Got rid of them. I got rid of them all.
Before you even had. But wasn't there another busted one you were gonna do?
I had 3 of them. I got rid of all of them.
Oh.
I'm gonna be honest, dude. To me, it's a boring car.
Yeah.
Like, it serves its purpose, but it's boring.
So you say that, and speaking of boring cars, we're gonna jump right into. If you guys don't know, and maybe you do, Tanner bought a GR Corolla.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Best car you can buy today. Best car you can buy.
So he believes that in his words, the best car you could buy today.
in its price category amongst its competitors, I think is the best car you can buy out of the lineup.
Okay.
With the exception of the Type R, but the Type R is like 10 to 15K more expensive.
It's very expensive. So, with that said, we wanted to talk a little bit about exactly that. Like, is the GR Corolla that amazing? Because we all know the STI got canned. WRX came out the same day. The next month they were like, oh, by the way, we're making Toyota STI. I mean, that's literally the time frame.
Dude, it's there's this whole conspiracy theory that Toyota killed off the STI. I don't think that Toyota did. I mean, the Corolla came out 2 years later after Subaru discontinued the STI.
But they announced it the same month that they announced the WRX
Well, maybe
killing
am I
of the
allowed
STI.
to curse? Am I allowed to curse?
Yeah, we're all adults.
Maybe if Subaru got their shit together and they pulled their head out of their ass and actually started making some stuff again. Bro, how many, as the VB god, Mr. Oase, how many different trim levels of this car do we need?
75. At least. It almost seems like that they were like an STI was planned and they had this whole plan like, you know, we're going to have an STI, it'll have these different trims and people will love them. But then the STI got canned and they were like, yo, what do we do with all these 7 trims that we were going to do? And they're like, fuck it, just release them. And so that's where we were like being drip fed of something, and that S210 probably was going to be
that was the worst S car I have ever seen. It was the least powerful, offered in only an automatic. That is the worst S line from Subaru ever. Also, I want to touch on this because I know it's going to come up. What Austin said, oh no, it's going to catch on fire if you go 86 miles an hour. So this has been like no. Listen, this has been like the biggest thing, and I did some digging into this, and I've talked with the guys over at Limit Plus One and a couple other like GR Corolla places. It was 2 cars. One of them was a totaled GR Corolla that somebody had bought and repaired, so who knows what happened to make that car catch on fire. The other one was one that consistently went back to Toyota for fuel leaks, i.e. they didn't fix the fuel leaks, and it caught on fire. So those are the 2 examples of it. So there's been 2. One of them was a totaled car. The other one was one that was quote-unquote a lemon. That just happened to happen in somewhat of the same time span.
These, you know, every now and then something blows up.
Yeah.
It's really not a big, and again, this is coming from the community that we are a part of is literally known for shit blowing up. So it's like,
that's true.
What, you know, okay, like,
look at the car, look at all the cars I've historically had. 4 cylinders, 3 cylinders, rotaries, cars with absolutely terrible reliability recommendations. Love them to death.
There is something to be said about that, and I'll get to the chat here in a second. We talk about this at work. As some of you guys know, I actually work at a Subaru shop, and the conversation comes up all the time. Every time before we put a car on the dyno, everybody comes and looks at the car and is like, wow, I can't believe this guy did his work at home. This work is kind of shoddy, or, you know, and it's like that. And then something happens. It's like, you got to check the car before you put it on the dyno. So then we put the car on the dyno, and then it does things that it shouldn't do because the person did the work at home. And it's like, I understand they're like saving money to try to do it at home, but it's like, it's crazy how many people do their own work.
Bro, that's why I got DIY videos on all of it.
But I mean, the thing is, there's a difference between you doing a DIY versus somebody else doing a DIY, or even between you and I doing a DIY, right? There's a level of experience, and even if you watch a video, it's like pancakes. Your first Subaru is gonna suck, but that second Subaru you get, you're gonna be really good at doing all the installations on there. I think that's how it is. Well, you know, your first pancake is always bad, and then every pancake after that.
How do you mess up a pancake, man?
Well, like, you flip it or do whatever, you know.
You literally just pour batter into a pan and flip it.
Well, that's the thing. The first one you make, you don't know how long to flip it.
You know,
so you think you're like,
I would say this is more along the lines of like a crepe.
I don't even like crepes.
How do you not like crepes, man? Crepes with a little bit of Nutella on them, that's where it's at.
Just Nutella on bread. Okay, all right. So
okay, but yeah, like I was saying, GR Corolla, I think for out of the competition out there for the price range now, dude, Subaru shot themselves in the foot. They have absolutely shot themselves in the foot with these price increases they're doing MSRP wise on new WRXs for their competition.
Okay,
why?
Let's see. So
what are you doing?
Let me catch up to the chat real quick. Uri Delis says ICI is rumored to be hybrid. I actually know. I'm like 96% sure from everything that I've been hearing from Subaru that it is going to be hybrid.
This is what I was getting to about Subaru shooting themselves in their foots, but we can circle back to that.
There's a lot of that happening, and it's not even just
Because what 26 Warrior most recently posted is what is me telling you they're shooting themselves in the foot.
So Hawkmoon says no alert. I've been telling all my friends here that we're gonna live stream for like the past month and a half, and every time I don't do it.
2 weeks ago it was my fault. Last week it was your fault.
And then 3 weeks ago it was your fault, and then 4 weeks ago it was also your fault.
That's all right.
Okay, so all those things aside, you're right. We're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about all these cars, all like the competitors to WRX. So you want to talk about price? Yes, the WRX price went up. The base, we lost the base. So now a premium starts at like 36.5, that's pretty high.
That's not what I saw released from Subaru. I saw 39.
For a premium? No.
For a premium, that is what I saw was 39.
It is not 39.
And that's what all 25s are selling for. MSRP listed locally is $39K for a premium.
Yeah, 36,920 is a premium.
36,920, so 37.
Yeah. Not 39. 39, I would.
Okay.
Even at 36,
so 37.
This is still really hard to deal with.
We're going 37 for 2025 premium entry level.
That's still really
entry
really
level WRX.
Price. So right now, okay, I want to precursor this because people talk about Elantras, Civic SIs, and Type Rs. In St. Louis right now, majority of these cars sell for MSRP. I think it really depends on where you're buying them. You know,
literally every car that we're going to be talking about tonight, with the exception of the Type R, sells at MSRP now.
Okay, so let's see if I'm looking for a brand new GR Corolla right now here in St. Louis. I got one here for 41,000.
What trim level?
A Core.
What year is it?
2025. Let me see what else I got.
They don't have cores for 2025 anymore. Now it's premium plus, and something else.
Yeah,
they changed them all. It's dumb.
It's and this is with a manual. All-wheel drive.
They do have autos in 2025 now.
Yeah. Let's see what else I can find. No range check 63012. View GR Corolla inventory. Yep, this is the same one.
I got one right here. 2024 GR Corolla Core for 34.8.
Used?
New.
Or is that brand new?
New, brand new on lot. Here's one for 33.6.
That's near you? That's near you.
Which
right?
You'd think they'd be more expensive because it's Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. Anything with all-wheel drive here is sought after, but that's why the other cars are not that expensive.
Literally every GR Corolla I'm looking at is sub 40,000 unless it is a 2025 and it is still listed at MSRP.
Yeah, so here's what we got right now. That same one I told you about. It's a GR Corolla 2025 at 41,000. It is a Core. What is it? I'll have to check up on the VIN and see what it is. But that's 41. But then the one after that is 46. So what the hell is that?
Well, what trim is it?
Yeah, I'm having a hard time telling me what the trims are.
Because there's a big difference between like the premium and the premium plus. You get LSDs, you get the carbon roof, you get all the venting and everything. So I mean, it's a substantial difference between them.
Yeah, they're not doing a very good job of, and this is literally down the street from me.
Yeah, mine is a circuit, so
the middle one, right?
Yeah, mine's a 24 circuit. We got it under MSRP. It was sitting at a lot for a little while. The dealers aren't marking them up anymore, dude.
It's okay. So, price aside, I want to say this because I think this is super relevant. WRX has been around forever. You know the name, you know the history, you know the legacy, blah, blah, blah. Whether you hate the new one or not, it still exists to this day after 30 years. It still exists. And it probably is going to continue to exist. We're not going to like it.
Is that all that you were saying with that?
No, I wanted Elantra, newcomer, Civic Si, still been around for forever, changed so much, still in the game, completely different price point. GR Corolla, brand new. Type R has had a lot of changes from the old ones to new ones. I don't know where it slots in. None of these cars that are not the WRX have what I consider legacy.
I disagree. I 100%
You really think so?
disagree.
You
And
disagree with
I'm a
that?
hardcore Subaru
Okay.
fanboy. I 100% disagree with you.
How why?
Because Subaru, dude, as much as I deeply love Subaru, there's a reason I've had roughly 55 of these cars. Okay, but dude, they're so fucking lazy now with their cars. They're not putting any thought into them outside of cut, copy, paste. Their marketing is the same. They're not updating anything. They're not listening to the consumers. They're making WRXs for enthusiasts. It's such a small niche market of Subarus. They're not even listening to their market, and they're just pumping out the same car. Wait, tell me, what is a WRX TS? What in the hell is tuned by Subaru on that car? It makes the same amount of power as any other WRX.
The suspension, obviously.
No, it's BS. It's lazy. It's absolutely lazy.
And I agree with you. I do agree with you.
And I don't think we need to white knight for this company if they're not listening to us.
No, I 100, especially now. Maybe last year we had this conversation, I felt a little bit differently. But now this year, I don't.
I let it slide in 2022, 2023, and 2024. I'm tired of it. Subaru needs to fix their shit.
I
especially here.
agree.
No. Here we go. Pricing. We're talking about pricing on the WRX earlier. A WRX TS is their top, or TR. Apologies. TR is their top model at damn near $50,000. They come out with an STI. It's at minimum going to have to be 10K above a WRX for it to make sense. At minimum. Who the hell is going to spend $60,000 on an STI? I'm not. If it's anything like what we've seen the past couple of years, absolutely not. Would you? If you had the money, I'm saying money is not an issue, and you had $60K to go buy a car, would you buy that, or would you buy something else?
You're gonna hate this response, but I probably would buy an STI.
Why?
Because for me,
is it because you haven't had one before, or is it because it's a new STI?
Both. Actually, it's really both. I finally got a chance to drive an old EJWRX like a couple of days ago, and it was super duper fun. It was great. It was great. But I knew I was gonna like it because I've driven it before. It's just been a long time.
Yeah.
I love whether it's new, it's old. Part of me is probably still just gonna continue to buy these cars. And
you know, I used to think the same thing, man. I used to think the same thing. And then they started giving me unpainted fenders and no STI 6-speeds.
Tanner's like a jaded cop sitting in the bar, just I can't believe they did this to me.
I'm salty, man, because I genuinely like the company and I want them to make cool shit again, and they're not.
All right, let's catch up.
And I'm sorry. I know the FA24 has its place in it. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh yeah, it's a terrible. It's not a bad engine, but it's boring. It is such a boring engine to drive.
It has changed. Things have changed, but the way that I think about it, or at least I try to, I don't want to give. Lately I have been pretty critical in most of my videos about the shit that Subaru does, especially when I saw like they had another model and another model and another model. It doesn't make any sense, but I don't really know where we go from here. Do we tell people like, hey, just don't buy it, buy something else,
no,
get out of it?
Look at other options. Like I said, I am a Subaru fanboy, but I honestly think that, like, for me at least, the GR Corolla, it's more engaging, it's more fun. There's more potential for bigger power if you wanted to go that route, for more affordable. And like, don't get me wrong, it's not a perfect car. It has its problems. There's no fucking center armrest. I think that was a dumb
There's
move.
no center armrest?
There's no center armrest. There's no center armrest. They have aftermarket ones that you can buy and you can put in there and it bolts in, and it's not a bad option. No, it's not perfect by any means. I mean, if for somebody that's going out and like hardcore tracking the car, yeah, they're gonna run into the issue where the diffs overheat and it goes into front wheel drive mode. There's already a fix out there for it for like $1,000, so it's not like it's the end of the world. But like, as a hardcore Subaru enthusiast, it's like Subaru needs to like fix their shit. And of course, I'm gonna tell people to go buy the more fun car. Adjustable diffs, man. This thing has adjustable diffs. Subaru hasn't done that in years. At least put like a adjustable diffs with an STI 6-speed and a VB. They've already got it. It literally bolts in a ways. Literally bolts in.
I know. I'm trying to do that.
Make an actual trim called the Performance Pack where it comes with it. People can option it.
look, I'm trying. So behind the scenes, some behind the scenes information. I'm trying so hard to get two people on this channel, and one of them is the marketing whatever guy, like the new products development guy from Subaru of America, and another
Yeah.
one is an actual engineer, like a Japanese engineer, and we're so close. I was actually talking to one of my buddies. He was trying to actually get a Japanese engineer for SubiFest, but it's such a high amount of work to fly them, to get a translator, to make all this shit work. I was like, dude, I will have like Google Translate because I would love to ask these exact questions, these exact complaints that we have, to directly ask them, like, what the
I
hell
don't think
are
they'd
you
be able to
doing?
answer him, to be honest. I think there's probably some disclosure or NDA or
They
something
can
that would
say
like.
they can say things around the bush,
True.
to get us what we want to know. So somebody said 25 limited is 40K. Yeah, I mean that's still 40,000 is a lot of money for a car. Now, to be fair, with the limited, leather and all that crap, sunroof, and I don't really
What
care
does a
for any of
limited
those
have that
things.
a premium doesn't?
It comes with the Harman Kardon sunroof package, which is like $1,800. It
I
comes
have the
with
Harman Kardon. It sucks. I have it in my
yeah,
17
it does
STI.
suck.
It's terrible. Not
Alcantara
worth it.
seats and like all the suede seats. It has like the turning headlights, which again I don't care
Okay,
for.
everyone swaps out their headlights
Yeah,
anyways.
well,
Not,
we
not
don't
so
have
much
that
in
option
VBs. Not
yet.
so much in VBs.
But yeah, that's like the main things that you get. The things that actually matter don't come in until you get the TR/TS, which is the steering wheel. We have electric steering wheel. You don't get that, and
Electric steering wheel.
because we have like the dual electric pinion steering wheel, whereas the
Oh, I
old
mean, I
ones
put
have
that
like
in my STI. I'm going to be honest. I mean, the electric power steering, in my opinion, is way better than the hydraulic. Way better.
really, and
I
that's a
I prefer
subjective
it.
thing. Some people prefer that. Some people.
It is subjective, but I only prefer it because there's no power steering pump, no power steering fluid, less lines, and it's just a simpler system.
Makes sense, and
And
it's
it's still a
more
variable
comfortable to
rack.
drive. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that. You get like the tuned suspension, but people
Everyone
swap
swaps
that
those
out.
out.
Yeah. But the thing is, if you don't, the only way it makes sense for you to buy that TR/TS is if you're gonna buy it and you're not gonna make any changes outside of like
Who buys
power.
a Subaru and doesn't do anything to it? 1% of owners?
50,000 WRXs sold so far, and they've only sold like 9,000 access ports. So clearly, there are people
You
buying
don't need it.
WRXs
Hey,
around
no,
the world.
no. Let's back up. Let's back up. You don't need an access port on these. You know, people have been doing it for the past 30 years with WRXs. They just throw parts on. They say, I don't need a tune, and then their car blows up.
I actually
Okay, so
had
let's
somebody
not look at access port sale numbers.
Somebody just asked me just yesterday. He's like, "Can I just like throw this all on?" I'm like, "Yeah, you could do whatever you want, but like, I don't really."
You know what's you know what? I don't mean to be stroking Toyota's PP right now, but you know what's great about the GR Corolla?
You are stroking Toyota's PP quite a bit.
You can put parts on it. You don't have to tune immediately.
Well, is it the same thing as Volkswagen? Do they have like sensors before and after? Dude, I don't understand why. So that's people.
Because I asked Graham before I started driving the car. I was like, "Hey, Graham, am I cool to put like this intake and this intercooler on the car? Is anything detrimental going to happen?" Nope, you'll be fine. I asked the guys over at Limit Plus One.
Amazing.
Nope, nothing will happen. You'll be fine. I'm like, cool. With a Subaru, I do that and it'll get real pissed off.
Well, it won't get pissed off. It'll just die.
I mean, that's kind of pissed off.
It pisses you off. All right, let me catch up to this chat. There's a lot going on. Let's go. What's
Tanner,
going on,
my
Reefy?
question is what you think in the Bug Eye Subis. Got my wife a Bug Eye water pump. I love Bug Eyes. I used to have Bug Eye. They're all just clapped out rusty now.
Especially here. It's bad. Everything cars a bit my own 22 WRX, STI transmission, stage 2 clutch, cop flex fuel kit with sensors, STI brakes. I mean, yeah. The problem is we shouldn't have to build our own. I'm glad that we can, but it sucks. After 4 years, coming up to like 3 years of this car, like I love this car. I think it's great, but given the opportunity, I want an STI. I only took a WRX because an STI didn't come out.
Coming from somebody who has swapped WRXs to STIs, it's not the same. It's not the same car at the end of the day because half the stuff that you're putting in the car is not factory. DCCD controllers, a factory DCCD controller is so much easier to use. It's cleaner. That's just an example, but it's OEM. It's all already there. You're not having to make it work. Like it's so. Plus, the other thing is when the time comes, because I'm going to be honest, nobody holds on to a car for absolutely. I mean, maybe a small percentage of people do, but at the end of the day, everyone's going to sell these cars someday. And you go to put all this money into your WRX to turn it into a quote unquote STI. Guess what? It still sells for WRX money. Doesn't matter.
Yep.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's still a WRX. You do it, you get an OEM from Subaru and it's an STI. Yeah, it's going to hold more value. And it's all OEM. You don't have to do any of this stuff.
It sucks. It's this is the thing that's really bothering most people. Is still even to this day is like, I bought my WRX thinking, okay, fine. They don't have the STI this year. Maybe like 24 there'll be an STI. Maybe 25 there'll be an STI. And every time there's a new car somewhere on this planet, I talk about it, and my first thing I say is, "Damn, this is not a fucking STI." It's like, what the hell is this? It's another WRX that they put like a wing on for this random market.
Yeah,
I hate it.
You know.
I'm getting more and more frustrated because of it. Because yeah, eventually I'm gonna build my STI out of this WRX. But you're absolutely right. Only way it's gonna mean anything to me is if I keep it. And this is why I made that STI video about the transmission. I said, yeah, you can do it, but you're absolutely right. Most people don't actually keep cars for like 6, 7, 8 years or whatever. So after they build it, it'll be gone. And then all
Pete
that
brought
money.
up a good point. After building a quote unquote STI, like with all the parts, the VB ends up almost $60K. Not worth it in my opinion.
But this, okay.
And guess what? You want to make big power on your VB? Oh, you got to buy a Motec. Oh, you got to buy a fuel system. Oh, you got to do all this. Oh, you need an STI 6-speed.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
But now a caveat to Pete's thing is, if you're paying somebody.
Yeah, if you're paying somebody,
you're going to spend even more, right? If you're not doing the work yourself, that you're losing out at least like $6,000-$7,000.
As a DIY connoisseur, not everybody is a DIY connoisseur, and they pay shops.
No.
Shop, like my labor rate at my shop, it varies from what car I work on, but on average, it's about $170 an hour. And that adds up quick doing like a transmission job for somebody. You got to do transmission, diff, driveline, axle, on older one, axles, hubs, Brembos, brake line, all that stuff too.
The thing about the power holding, this is why this is the first thing I wanted to talk about with the STI transmission. People say, oh, well, horsepower. Okay. How many of you are making 800 horsepower?
Me.
Okay. That's one.
Me.
And I think this is the part where people have to be real with themselves.
No. Let's stop. No, you over exaggerated that a lot. 800 horsepower. No.
Okay.
400 horse. But 400 wheel torque. We're not talking about horsepower. We're talking about torque. 400 wheel torque. And that's the thing. That's the thing, though. 400 wheel torque is when you get in a danger zone. And when it comes to tuning VBs, you have to limit your torque on these so you don't break the transmissions. If you were allowed to tune the car fully to the extent of what it could actually do, you're going to kill your trans, which is where an STI trans comes into play.
But how many people are making 400 torque?
They're not allowed to.
No, I have people all the time tell me like, oh yeah, I'm making like 456, 472, 444. And I'm like, damn, bro, what are you doing out there? But however, I've been working on trying to find this. There is apparently an article out there that details the gear changes in the VB transmission. It is still a split case. It is still the same 5 plus 1.
Split case garbage.
But the first four gears
no cuts,
are forged gears, which is not the same thing as the VA.
You give me 10 minutes with that trans, I bet you I can break it.
Oh, I've had 2 years.
I'm joking. I'm not.
I've had 2 years.
I'm not going to break your trans ways.
No, it'll break on its own. Don't worry.
Well, here's the thing though with the split case transmissions, 5-speed, 6-speed, if you start getting up there in torque, it's not when it breaks, it's if it breaks. It's not if it breaks,
the other.
When it breaks. It will break. Yeah. It will break. It's going to happen. So at that point, what do? You just keep tossing in these split case 6-speeds?
For like $600 for these shitty six.
How many 6-speeds are you gonna go through before you're like, damn, dude, I should have just bought the proper transmission.
At least 4 until it equals the price of what STI transmission.
And then you're spending double.
Okay, all right. We always end up coming back to like the hate of like this. But let's go back to the GR Corolla. So for those of you joining a little late, I want to say the exact words that Tanner used was the GR Corolla is the best car you could buy today.
I stand by that. No, not today. In its price category.
In its price category. So between 36 to 42,000.
Other cars you can buy that are better.
Right? So yours is it starts between 36 to 44. Is that like the full between the circuit?
No,
and
I think the
the
Circuit
core.
goes for a little bit more, but Circuit is like top trim under Marizo. But Marizo, I wouldn't buy as a street car because Marizo, you
I don't
don't get
think
a
you
back
can
seat.
buy anymore. Those were limited, weren't they?
No, it's I think those were 2023, maybe 2024, but I wouldn't daily one of those. You get no back seat. It's like stripped down. It's like it's race car. It's like
Okay.
you're taking the car to the track and enjoying it. So I'd say top trim for most people is going to be a Circuit edition or the Premium Plus is what they call it now.
So tell me, you got a GR Corolla.
Mm-hmm.
It's got adjustable center diff. It's
Yep, love
it's
it.
all-wheel drive. It's
Love it.
got manual 6-speed. It's got
Love
a very unique 3-cylinder engine.
Love it.
Okay.
It's fun. It's fun and it's engaging to drive. Like a lot of people hear, oh, it's a 3-cylinder. It can't be that fun. It's a garbage engine. It's dumb. It is a blast. It's engaging. It's got personality. It's got character. It likes to rev out. Dude, it's so much fun.
But is it have personality because it has 3 cylinders? Is that what you consider personality?
I don't think that's why.
Okay.
I mean, the characteristics of a 3-cylinder naturally.
So talk us through the actual feel, not hyperbole, but like talk us through because you said you've owned like 55 different STIs or Subarus, STIs, WRXs, whatever. So I've never driven one. So talk me.
It reminds me of a 2011 STI hatch. Like
Okay.
if you've ever driven an old STI hatch, that's what it reminds me of. You have your center adjustment. The way the boost comes on, it is kind of ramped. It's not as linear, like it's a linear power band, but it's not as linear as like an F824. So it still gives you that punch and that kick.
What's the red line on it?
7,200, I believe. It revs out far.
And when does it come in? When's the turbo come in?
Power, dude, it comes in quick.
Like
because
3,000.
Like 2,500, 3,000,
Okay.
because it's not like it has an exhaust manifold. The exhaust manifold's cast into the turbo and it's bolted to the engine, so it's all one unit. So it's not like it has a long way to travel or anything like that. I will say though, doing shocks, anything shock related, your axle's going to pop out, and that sucks.
There's always going to be something.
True. I mean, naturally, there are things that do suck about it. Like I said, I don't think it's a perfect car. If somebody's going to be tracking the car heavily all the time, yes, you're going to run into the issue where your diffs overheat. But it's $1,000 fix for that. You run a Cyvex all-wheel drive controller, and then you just run an external transmission cooler for your transfer case, and you're fine. What?
So GR Corolla, Sambo says GR Corolla, hell no. Everything Car says I had the option for a GR, and I went with a VB. Never regretted the choice.
Did you guys drive it though?
45,000 for a car that feels like it's 15 years old.
I don't think it, dude. It feels even tech wise, the Corolla felt better than any of the VBs I had. Way better. It's got way more tech. It's, in my opinion, way more luxurious, quote unquote. Maybe it's just because mine's a Circuit edition, but like my VB, it was all hard plastic. The touchscreen, I called you so many times about that bullshit touchscreen.
He did actually, but you had a 23.
Yeah. And it broke all the time. Dude, I literally I called a waste when it happened. The touchscreen in my 23 went black for like 3 days. And then it came back on and you could touch the screen and nothing would happen. It means I couldn't change climate control. I couldn't turn off my heated seats. I couldn't change my music. I couldn't go into Apple CarPlay. I couldn't do anything, dude. In the Corolla, I actually have physical buttons. The user interface in the actual display is they actually used like a good processor. Like everything loads fast and it's responsive. You get a heated steering wheel. You get some people don't like piano black, which I don't understand. I like piano black. Maybe it's
because of the fingerprints. Because piano black.
Maybe I'm a little more classy than everyone else. I don't know.
I do see you with all those books in the back.
Right, dude. The dash has like nice soft touch material, blue stitching everywhere. I like it. I think that the interior in it like, could it be better? Obviously, yes, but it's also a Corolla at the end of the day. Like let's not forget that it's still a Corolla.
So this whole we're driving an Impreza. There's a Civic out there that's $45,000. There's an Elantra out there that's like $36,000.
No. The WRX is not an Impreza. The WRX is not an Impreza anymore. It lost that name in 2015.
It may have lost the name, but now it's on the global platform. It's basically like a baby Crosstrek.
Okay, then you can call it an Ascent. You can call it an Outback. You can call it a Forester.
It doesn't make it better. It actually makes it worse when we call it that. But I mean, at this day and age, we don't have most of these companies don't have pinnacle cars anymore. They just have their regular cars, but just overly engineered to be more than they are. It's not like, when you had a Prelude or you had an NSX or you had an Integra, you had an STI. It still hurts. Every time I say that, it still hurts. But I think it's fair, and I think it's important for us to have options. When I saw that the GR Corolla was coming out, I'll be honest with you, I part of me actually wished that I got a GR Corolla.
Join me, Oasis.
Because
Join me.
some of you guys don't know my history in my life and my family had a 1988 Corolla for 25 years, and that was supposed to be my first car out of high school. It was a 5-speed, made like 80 horsepower, and it was a hatchback. So when I saw Toyota brought the Corolla back as a hatchback, I was really excited. I was like, oh, at least it could be like a fun daily car. And then they came out with the GR Corolla, and I was like, bro, what the hell is this? Like,
Dude.
it makes no sense. And then of course it came at I'm telling you, dude, I don't believe in conspiracy theories, but it came at such a right time. Such a right time. I did a whole video on this. I talked
maybe
about it.
no. Maybe this was a good thing. Maybe having the GR Corolla come out would have put Subaru in a position when it was still Subaru versus Mitsubishi, and actually give them some competition to build a car that they're going up against with their competitors. Like, let's be honest, man. As soon as the Evo died, Subaru started getting lazy immediately.
Yeah.
They had no one to compete with. What did they do from 2018 to 2021? What changes did they make to the STI? None.
Nothing.
Small.
When did the
revision.
RA? They did do like the Type RA, but
That's only because they changed the castings.
it was nothing.
They
really.
ran out of the 705 casting. It met the end of its life. They swapped the 706 casting for their blocks. They said, well, let's just start using all this. And it's not really even that much better.
Everything Car says I have had issues with my infotainment system and my.
Hang on, wait a minute.
Everything Go ahead.
I want to touch on everything Car's comment right here. I was excited also for the GR until I saw his 3-cylinder. Why?
Yeah, honestly,
it makes 300 horsepower out of a 3-cylinder factory.
I don't really have any problem with it making 3-cylinder. I don't think
I have no
the
issue
engine like when people look at a car and how they judge it. I mean, everybody has so many different factors on judging cars, right? This is just infinite amount. But when somebody looks at a car and based off the engine, and I'm
No, we're not talking about engine. It's number of cylinders.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like whatever the configuration is, whether it's 4, whether it's 5, 6, whatever. I don't really judge the car like that. The only way I judge it is like you. I will sit down in it, I will drive it, and I will see how it makes me feel, like the sum of its parts. I think that's just really important. Yeah, I think that's the best way to say it. But I think that's why a lot of people like the WRX, because the sum of the parts does speak to you.
Yeah.
In a way.
I agree with Cruel Unknown. I do not think GR Corollas are worth it with markups. I do not think that they're worth it with markups.
I mean, any car, honestly, any car is just not worth it for markups. Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
So everything cars, we actually have a Nissan Z 400 in our shop right now. We're actually
Nissan killed those on arrival. Nissan dealers killed those on arrival, I should say.
Why? Because of the pricing?
Because the markups, dude. There was one up here marked up $70,000.
It wasn't worth the markup, but honestly,
it was barely worth the MSRP.
I don't know if I'm in the minority here, and I may very well maybe. I think it is a great car. It's not great, but it's not even
built. The 400Z. It's just the Z.
It's just Z, right? Yeah. It's like, I think the build quality is pretty shit, but I mean, it's still a Nissan, so let's just get past that. But I think the way it looks, the way it drives,
I love the way it looks.
Really awesome. It's such a between the BRZ,
I haven't driven one, so I can't judge on that. But the way it looks, I actually do like the way they look.
Between the BRZ and the Nissan Z, it is, I think, two of the most traditional sports cars out right now.
Based on looks, which one would you take, the BRZ or the Z?
Oh,
just
Z,
based off looks.
Hands down, 100%.
Really?
Hands down, Z, yeah.
Because just based on, I would take the BRZ.
Because if you look at the front of the Z and the BRZ, it's very similar, but the back of the Z it takes
the back of the Z is like it is like 80s
it's so retro. Like, how
day,
can you say no to that? You know, it just looks so good. But price wise, 100% BRZ all day long. I don't care how much power it makes. I love it.
I don't think they're bad. I like them.
I'm sorry.
I wouldn't.
BRZ or GR86, which is crazy because they sell
GR86.
like 10 times
GR86.
more.
I would take the GR86. I've always preferred. They're literally the same car, but I've always preferred Toyota's bumpers over Subarus because all of Subarus always look like they're smiling and happy, where Toyotas actually look like they have somewhat of an aggressive bumper to them.
You got one on your side. Warmind says, you know what's funny? I've been thinking about trading my VB in for a GR Corolla manual. Isn't for wait. Oh, it's a manual. Isn't for me. Subi SPT is simply not as good as the Gazoo AT. Okay, yeah, and that's fair. It's totally right because like at least the Corolla has a true automatic.
That's true. I watched a
that's
video on
something.
that the other day.
Yeah, markup in general is just terrible.
Yeah. GR Corollas around me have no markup, whereas the Type Rs do. Same. The GR Corollas are selling at MSRP or below MSRP.
I think a lot of cars. I think we're getting to the point where cars in general are, like I said, I've said it so many times. I said if you want an Elantra N, if you want a Civic Si, you want a Type R, call up a dealership in St. Louis. We have them available.
I agree. I agree with Austin right here. The FRS didn't look as good to me. I agree with that, but the FRS I count a Scion. But I know it's technically Toyota, but I count that as Scion.
Pull that up.
It looked dumb, dude. The FRS front bumper looked dumb.
Sure. Now I will say both of those cars. If you look at, maybe not.
What
Because
do you mean?
let me see if I can pull this up.
What do you mean maybe not? Maybe not what?
BRZ front. Oh yeah. So if you look up the GR86 and the BRZ, you're absolutely right. The front bumper, the fog bezel looks like a douche. On the BRZ, like it literally looks like a douche.
Dude, I'm telling you, dude, Toyota's looks better.
You are not going to be able to unsee it. Let me see if I can.
Toyota's looks better. Here's what happened. Okay, do you see my company 23 bottle opener Aways?
I can't do.
Here's Subaru coming up. Here's Subaru coming up, and then here's Gazoo Racing, and they just knock him out, and then Gazoo Racing goes up.
It's absolutely true. But I also think, and this is so funny that this is like this. I think people say, oh, okay, well, I know there's so many bad things about Subaru, but I know so many good things about Toyota, so I'll just get the Toyota version, not knowing that the Toyota version also
it's
has
the same
Subaru
car.
engine.
Yeah, it's the same car. Same car.
I honestly think that people do make the distinction that way.
Same car.
Oh my
Lexus
God,
CT200H. I think that's actually a good looking car. I've always thought those are good looking.
200H. Let me pull that.
You've seen them. I guarantee you. They look good. For a little commuter car, I think they've always looked pretty good.
200H.
You've seen them. I know you've seen them.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yes.
They look good.
Okay, I'm going to say this. This is something, when I was younger, I had an RX-8, and my brother-in-law had a Mazda Speed 3, the wagon or whatever. And I used to make fun of him all the time because it's like, oh, wagon this, wagon that, station wagon, blah, blah. But as an adult, I will take a wagon version of literally any car over its sedan version any day of the week.
Same. Warmind. I want to mention this, or I want to touch on this. I know the GR Corolla 3-cylinder is especially pushing 100 horsepower per cylinder, but given it has less cylinders, I wish it was a smidge more fuel efficient. Dude, I get 34 miles per gallon combined in that thing.
Give me a second.
It's great. It's so nice. Can we get a Honda Fit size Subaru and throw a WRX engine in it? Yeah, what is that?
Dude, a Honda Fit, I actually would love to get like a
Honda
slightly boosted Honda Fit.
Bro, they
Dude,
look
I would
cool.
take that. It would be so much fun.
You know what would make me buy a Subaru tomorrow? I would trade in my GR Corolla for this if Subaru did this. Give me a Levorg with an OEM STI Levorg, damn it. Give me it.
That would be really good. Here,
all I want is a wagon that's an STI Oasis.
I agree.
34 peaks by dude. I get 34 combined between highway and city
Let's
driving
see,
with
what
GR
is
Corolla.
this?
It's phenomenal. Granted, it has a small fuel tank, but it's also a small car.
Okay.
So I mean, I can't complain too
okay,
much.
cool.
But
All right. So this is showing all of the right stuff now.
It's so small.
Yeah. Well, the picture. Okay. So GR.
Just read it. Just read it to me.
No, it wasn't for reading. I just wanted to have like so you can see the picture. Okay. So this is the front bumper of a GR86. Oh my God.
I'm looking at the live stream, and it's literally 2025 Subaru WRX TS.
It should change.
Oh, it's showing you Google searching now.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I wanted to find a picture.
I'll just wait till you say we have it up there.
Oh my God, dude! Show me.
Okay, while you do that, I'm gonna go grab another beer real quick.
Okay, sounds good. Burrs. Okay. All right. So we'll come back to that. So BRZ front. 2022.
Hey, a waste.
Yeah.
Do you want to see my Company 23 bottle opener in action?
Yeah. Show me.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
Oh
I
yeah.
gotta hold it. I
Wow.
gotta hold it by the neck.
Hold it by the shaft. All right. So let me.
Bro, that's frozen.
Okay.
That's like a slushy.
Your beer.
Yeah, it was in the back of the fridge. It's like a slushy.
Goodness. Okay. So where is?
Okay, now the picture of the BRZ is finally
Okay.
shown it.
So the picture of the BRZ.
The 86 looks so much better.
This
dude.
is the 86. You see how like the fog bezel is just like this black L shape. But then if you look at the BRZ,
I'm waiting for the BRZ picture to come up.
the BRZ
Oh, there
is
it
like it's like a douche. Look
It
at
is.
this. It's like a little douche. And then,
I don't think it looks terrible, but I think the 86 looks better.
oh, the 86 is way better. The
I think the
grill is
86
just
looks
so much
way
better.
better.
But I
And
think
that's
the
coming from
thing.
somebody who's owned that BRZ.
The thing is, people that, and I understand that. That's people probably also pick the Toyota because of that reason. Honda Fit, all-wheel drive Honda Fit with a boxer engine, bro, that would be amazing. But
I don't think the
FA24 in
engine
there,
is wide
all-wheel
enough.
drive,
I think you'd have to tube the front end.
make it happen.
Make it
Lavorg
happen.
is
Probably will
superior.
switch to a GR once I'm done with my Mazda Speed 3. That is what's up right there.
Oh, okay. What is going on with your rear engine STI?
It's in timeout still.
Okay.
It's back from fab. It's sitting in my overflow spot. I'm just not touching it until my RS is done.
Okay.
I don't want to have two full-on resto rebuild full builds all at once happening.
You told me that this RS was the last car you were going to build.
No, I told you it was my last EJ-based car I was going to build.
Oh, but the next one is also EJ.
No, it's an EG.
Oh, I guess you
EG
won with a
33.
technicality.
It's got 2 more cylinders.
I see. I thought you meant this was the last car that you wanted to build, and this year you wanted to
No,
like,
you
travel
silly
around and
Billy. I can't not do that. I like to tinker with things, Awais.
stuff. You got to tinker with the world. You got to travel. You got to see the people.
I am. We're going to Iowa in May. We're going to Colorado end of May. We're going to California in July.
What's in California?
The Subi Fest event. I'm taking the RS down there.
I think it's in August.
That is July.
No, they did move it to where it's going to be in the evening now, but I'm pretty sure it was in August. I'll tell you
Well,
right
whenever it is, I'm taking the RS down there. Because, yeah, we're going out to Iowa at the beginning of May, Colorado the end of May. I'm sure there's going to be a couple other smaller trips.
now.
throughout
CB
there.
Fest 2025. It is. Do they? Yeah, August 2nd.
Okay, that's pretty much July.
It's
August 2nd. Okay,
Well, then you got to be. Okay. So an update on the whole track thing for my birthday. I have the money figures. I have everything sorted out. I'm waiting for the guy to actually email me back. It's probably gonna be like August 10th or whatever the weekend is. He gave me a
How am
couple
I
of
supposed
options.
to get from California to out there within a week?
Drive fast. But I'm trying to figure out the dates aren't set, so maybe I'll like push it back to like middle of August or something.
You just let me know. You just let me know on that one. I have a 2009 Subaru Impreza sedan. What's a good straight pipe exhaust for it? For the love of God, please don't do that. Don't do that, man. Don't. If you're putting an exhaust on it, just buy like an eBay one with a muffler at minimum. Just put an eBay catback on it.
Okay, I'm just. Hawkmoon wants to know, when are you gonna get a Subaru closed hauler?
What the hell? What does that even mean?
I don't know.
A trailer?
I
Is that
guess.
a trailer?
I guess.
I don't
honestly
know.
do not.
I don't know how to answer this question because I don't understand the question.
You should answer it with whatever you want to answer with.
One day.
There you go. Oh, so speaking of the Lavorg,
Mm-hmm.
what the hell happened with the Mexico wagon that was supposed to be?
I don't know. I don't know because I had
let's
somebody in
see.
Mexico looking around for one for me.
Mexico.
They've never even seen one down there.
Yeah, it's still, as last I heard, that they had the orders open for them, but I didn't see anything after that.
Hold up. I want to back up here for a minute. I want to go back to WRX pricing. Can we do that?
Let's do it.
Did you see the letter that was getting passed? I'm not trying to make this political right now.
Yes.
Do you see the letter that got passed around for the price increase on Subarus for the tariffs?
With the tariffs, yes.
And we're not getting. Don't nobody get fucking political right now. I don't want to argue with anybody. But what is that going to do to WRX pricing?
It's going to kill it.
I haven't seen anything like that come from Toyota.
But what doesn't? Okay, so here's what doesn't make any sense to me, is there are no tariffs on Japan.
I know.
So I don't understand why they sent that email.
Is the WRX produced in Japan or America?
It's the WRX is in Japan.
Is it?
Yeah, we have
it's not moved to
Ascent,
Indiana?
Legacy, Outback, and something else is in Indiana. No, WRX, as far as we know, it's still being BRZ WRX still being made in Japan.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Honestly, the way I see it is the WRX probably is not going to be affected by the cost of raw material, but since Subaru's doing a price increase on the models that are affected, they're going to do a price increase on the entire lineup and claim that they're using the tariff as the reason.
Yeah.
To
this
make
doesn't
more
make
money.
any sense because right now is there a tariff on Japan? Let's see.
Corolla notes that it's mainly due to parts that come from Canada and Mexico, but all the parts Japan buys them, and they buy them from these countries. So it's not like they're paying there isn't no tariff for the WRX, but they're still doing the price increase on all model lineups.
Oh, I think that's why, because Japan is getting hit.
Are they?
Yes. So there was a discussion with our good old boy president and the Japanese foreign minister Takeshi Ayawa, and they discussed also the tariffs that were happening in China. So yeah, maybe I guess Japan is getting hit with tariffs, or they're preparing for the possibility of having, because I think it is something to do with cars in general, because I know that they have a tariff specifically on foreign cars so we can buy more domestic cars. But it makes sense.
I don't want a fucking Charger a waste.
No, I don't want a Charger either.
I don't want a Charger. I don't want a Challenger.
Can we talk about like American cars I would actually buy? A Chevy
Any
Cruze
like
hatchback.
90s, early 2000s, I'm all game for.
No, I would buy our current gen Chevy Cruze hatchback.
You're nuts.
That's the only car that I would actually buy.
You're nuts. Okay, what
I
about
think they look
old?
good. About what?
Fox body, yes or no?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
I love Fox bodies.
Hell yeah, Fox body.
Fox
Everybody in
bodies.
my high school had a Fox body as their first car. So
Dude, Fox bodies, I love them.
So awesome.
I love them. S197s. A lot of people hate them just because they're not like the greatest for power. I actually low key like S197s. They're like the 08. They're like the 08 Mustangs, like the retro ones. The GTs. I don't mind them. I like them. I think they look pretty cool.
I don't think my PP is big enough to own a Mustang.
I got to touch on this. So I should pick up a GR Corolla sooner than later. Absolutely, Warmind.
Oh my God! Don't listen to him. Don't do it.
Dude,
don't buy.
You
don't buy.
Have you driven one?
I have not. I
don't,
have not.
because you're gonna want one so bad.
Well, so here's the thing. As a VB owner, any other cool car I drive, I want. I never wanted to die on the hill and become VB Jesus. That was not the point.
You
that
are
was not
VB
the point.
Jesus.
The point
you have
was,
the hair and everything.
The point was a WRX STI was supposed to come out in 2024, and I was gonna be like, cool. VB WRX was awesome. I'm gonna move on to the STI. Super cool, and it just never happened.
Subaru baby trapped you.
They really did. They really
Subaru
did.
baby trapped you.
They got me so hard. Now I'm stuck as VB Jesus.
Yeah, embrace it.
But when
here's
VB STI
what you should
comes
do,
out,
Waste. Embrace your inner VB Jesus. Do what I never did. Buy that Motec. Put that 6-speed in. Make 1,000 horsepower a waste.
I do plan on putting that 6-speed in there one of these days.
And a Motec. It's only $10,000. Come on, man.
Eventually, something's gonna go in there. But did you see my short today? I have a little bit of shaft play on my turbo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's right around the time when I was looking to get a turbo upgrade.
Are those, since you're VB Jesus, you'll be able to answer this. Are those ball bearing or journal bearing?
Those are journal bearing.
A little bit of shaft play is normal on journal bearing turbos.
I did not know
because on ball bearings the clearances are a little bit tighter, but on journal bearing the tolerances are looser. So when it pressurizes with oil, it tightens up that turbine shaft.
Okay.
So
Then it's
it-
probably okay then.
yeah,
I
so
just never touched
you
it.
can have a little bit of side to side play and you're all right. It's axial play in and out on the turbo. In and
Oh
out.
no, it's solid in and out.
So yeah, you got nothing
It's
to stress.
solid. Like I grabbed it like this, and I grabbed it in there, and
As
it
long,
was totally
as
good
it doesn't
like
go
that.
in and out, as long
But
as it
when I
doesn't go
grabbed
in
it
and
like
out, you're solid.
this, it was like a little bit. But this
That's
way,
fine.
no problem.
That's perfect.
All right.
Yeah, your turbo's fine, man.
I'm still gonna replace it. I'm still gonna make it go away.
Big turbo.
Shaft play. Actually, my
Come
engine
on, man.
builder
Do
at
what
work
do what
did
I
tell me-
was supposed to do. Do what I was supposed to, and I didn't do.
I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna go with like a 60 mil Kinugawa ball bearing.
No, bigger.
I need it to be stock location right now.
Bro,
I
like
cannot-
a precision 6466.
Oh my god.
Come on.
Okay, see the way my bank account works right now. Like I cannot own. Like I. There's so much going on in like the HeavyMetalWRX coffers right now. It's just a shit show back there. Like I had money for suspension, and I was actually gonna go with FAs this time because their social media presence is just way better, and so I chose to pay for suspension this time instead of just getting it for free because I need that back and forth.
I'm gonna be honest. Half this free suspension that you get kind of sucks. Not you. I'm not talking about you, but I'm talking about in the grand scheme of things. When people give you free suspension, 9 times out of 10, it kind of fucking sucks.
Yeah, that's why I'm happy to go with FA because we're gonna talk about what I need. We're gonna build it, and yeah, I'll pay. It's gonna be like 25% off, which is still pretty expensive for me. You know, I don't have those media bucks yet.
I mean, I still pay for like 95% of the shit that I run.
But
not
to be
Cygnus
fair,
performance.
you don't have a kid. That is
not.
a lot of my money.
I'm gonna say
goes
some
to my
shit that I
child.
shouldn't after reading that.
What? Say it.
Not Cygnus performance.
Oh, okay. Just so everybody knows, I am still making my Cygnus performance video.
That dude
Like,
smokes his own toenails.
That's
He
what
licks
they say.
butt. That mofo kicked me out of all of his Subaru groups because I wouldn't buy his suspension and promote it.
Mhm.
I have chat messages. He was like, "Hey man, you want to run a set of Cygnus Performance coilovers?" I was like, "If you're gonna send them over, sure, why not?" He was like, "Oh no, I'll give you 5% off." I'm like, "Eat dick, dude."
5%. I know. Look, nothing wrong with the coilovers. The problem is not the
They're
coilovers.
Fortunatos.
The problem is not the coilovers. The problem is the human being, which we will get to.
A waste. He has GR Corolla groups on Facebook too.
I know it's unfortunate. It is.
I'm waiting to get kicked out of that one too.
You know what? I should join that even without a GR Corolla.
Do it. I'll approve your request. I'm not an admin, but I'll try.
Oh my god, he posted something recently, and I had to stop myself from saying something because I don't want his eyes on me right now because I am still putting this video together. And once I do, then I know his eyes will fully be on me. So I'm just preparing for that.
I have a set of those coilovers. I actually got a set of his coilovers for free from a friend because I put bags on her car and she was like, "Hey, do you want these as payment?" I was like, "Sure. I need a set for my 17 STI." Those are coming off.
Yeah.
They don't ride all that good. At least the set that I got, they don't ride all that good.
We have a Supra set at work that we just don't know what to do with. We've been trying to sell it. Nobody wants to buy it. But it's not the coilover's fault. It's just very specific.
Well, if you take the name off the coilover, I bet you they'd sell.
Probably Hail RTS, probably a dumb question, but is it a bad thing I prefer the WRX dash over the GR?
Why?
Does the GR have a digital dash?
Dude, it's fully digital and fully customizable.
Nope. I want a digital one.
It's fully customizable, right? Dude, it's fully customizable. You can set it up however you want. So you can change how the tack looks. You can change all of your settings. It has lane assist so keep in mind all the driver assist you got to turn on. It's got lane assist, adaptive cruise control, intelligent manual transmission. So if you don't know how to rev match downshift, you can push a button and it'll do it for you.
Yeah, I saw that it did have that rev match in there.
Dude, it's got so much cool stuff.
Oh, I got eyes and ears. A bunch of people have said that they're not banned yet, so they can get me. And honestly, I have so much.
Are you
stuff.
banned?
I've been banned for forever.
Yeah.
I've been banned for years. I have my own stories. So like, I'll give you like a real small tidbit. He has said a bunch of racial slurs to myself and to like a couple of other people. People have actually provided me screenshots of that. Because I obviously they don't want to be known, but I'm gonna black out everything. But I'm gonna have that in there.
Yeah, you can just put my name or you black all their names out.
I'm gonna put Dewey's name. He also really wanted to come on the channel and like say it, but JJ doesn't want him to do that, which I totally understand. You know, they don't want any drama.
That's understandable.
He tanked his best friend's business by using pictures and comments from his Facebook while he was going through very like difficult emotional things, like I think it was something to do with his family or health or something like that. And his best friend actually reached out and told me this whole story. And he's like, I don't want my name anywhere near this. I'm like, well, if I tell the story, the idiot's going to know who it is. You know, it's like nothing I can do about it. But like he literally spent 6 months until his company actually took a full hit. And the guy just was like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't even want to do this anymore, and quit and started doing something else. Like his own best friend. Like that's just some of the stories I have.
I don't mean this to come off sounding bad, but who would want to be his friend? Have you stumbled across his fucking TikTok? He's weird.
Oh,
dude.
yeah, I have.
He is weird.
When he argued with me 3 years ago, he used his TikTok as a reason to show that he was better than me. He was like, I had like 700 subs, and I had made like this random video about like tailless turn lights. It was this whole drama that happened.
The Diode Dynamics ones?
Yeah. That was like
those.
It was forever ago. And he just went hard. I mean, I told you for 5 hours that day he argued with me. And Tamo was like, oh, shouldn't argue with these people. Like, what if they show up to their house? I was like, I fucking wish this guy would. I was ready to go to his. He had a storage unit in Orlando. When I was down in Orlando, I told my cousin, I said, you know what? Let's go take a little trip down.
That's where he keeps all his fingernail and toenail clippings.
I thought that he eats them.
He does, but when he's full, he's got to put them somewhere, man.
That makes sense. So anyway, that's completely side tangent. Fuck him. I don't care about him. I will handle him in due time. And I know that when that video comes out, it is gonna be a shitstorm. But I've got a lawyer. I'm ready for it.
I'll promote the shit out of that.
And he says like, oh, if I have to get law advice, blah blah blah. He's not gonna do that. I have like 2 lawyers at my daughter's school, and one of them is actually gonna be on the video. So like, he's like, if he says anything, you tell me, I will fucking take care of him. So I'm covered. Yeah, that's how people have real friends, unlike your boy. But anyway,
we have ventured far off the beaten path here.
Completely off.
Get back to where we were.
I want to touch one.
Hey, Heavy Metal WRX. I used to have a 2024 GR Corolla, which got totaled in a hit and run. I got a 2025 Type R as a replacement, but am left missing all-wheel drive. Should I look at a new WRX or another GR, or keep the Type R?
Oh, that's a hard question. That is, I've driven.
I've owned 2 out of 3 of those cars. I haven't owned a Type R, so I can't speak on that. I would say GR.
I've driven a Type R. That was the one that
I have not.
Had.
I have not driven a Type R yet.
Are
you talking about now FL5 or FK8?
The FL5. It is such an amazing car.
I would say the determining factor is if you want all-wheel drive. I mean that's kind of you're down to a couple options.
Yeah, it depends. I guess if where you live, right? If you need the all-wheel drive, you're like Daniel said, but at the same time, there's a couple of things about the Type R I didn't like. I didn't like it that it had an electronic handbrake. It's got a button.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't like that. I don't like that the back seat is just 2 seats because the center console goes all the way back. I don't like that. I don't like that it's a hatch, but it's actually not that much room.
It's a lift back.
It's a lift, right. Or a sport back. Is that what they call them? Sport back.
Lift back or sport back.
It also like slopes really quickly, so there's less headroom for people in the back. So there are certain things, but if those aren't a factor, I will say right now, without even driving a GR Corolla, Type R is phenomenal. It drives
from everything I've seen on the FL5, they're fantastic cars, but I think it really comes down to like what we're talking about geographically. If you want or need all-wheel drive, or if you find yourself missing all-wheel drive, then I'd say you're down to the WRX or the GR Corolla.
And clear option there is WRX, obviously.
GR Corolla, obviously.
Here we go. Inactive Mogul WRX. Are you interested in some VB Recaros in the near future? Dude, I actually have a Race Quip racing seat that I haven't even put in.
I'll give you 2 more. I'll give you 2 more Race Quips if you want them.
I'll take at least a passenger seat.
I'll give it to you. I've got Race Quips in the 17 STI. I hate those.
Send them over. I could. You know what? I'll put one in the passenger and I'll put one on my sim rig that I'm never going to put together. Although the Recaros are really comfortable in the WRX.
They are. I will say they are. I've sat in them. They are pretty good.
If I take the seats out, I lose.
Oh, you haven't
the
sat
heated
in one
seats.
yet, dude. You haven't sat in one yet. GR Corolla seats, top tier.
Okay, the
They
WRX
got
seats
bolstering.
suck.
They got, dude. They're so nice.
Yeah, premium WRX seats are garbage. I can't fight that. It's just shit. It's just what it is.
You know, I think the thing that gets me the most about the VB is that I thought I could live with it, and I never could. That tablet.
There's answer right there. Studious lives in Idaho, but he might be moving to Florida. If you move to Florida, don't even worry about it. Keep
FL5. FL5 all day.
Keep it.
Yeah.
It's such a great car.
Absolutely. FL5.
The Austin said, I hear the Type R is a bit gutless or slow. No, it may be. Some
That's
people
subjective.
Probably,
That's such a subjective thing.
I think people say that because when people drive high RPM cars, they think like, oh, it's taking forever to get up there. But that's the fun part about those cars is they rev so high. You don't need to be like shifting 7 gears to get to where you want to get to. Yeah, all WRX seats are pretty shit. I can't lie on you. They're pretty garbage.
That's not true. Yeah.
Well, at least the Recaros or even like the limited Alcantaras are actually really nice. And the Recaros are just even better than that.
Come on, get in your bed. Get in your bed,
my
little
goodness.
corgi. Get in your bed, little
Harris
corgi.
Diamond says, I'm getting a 23 base WRX for 38 Canadian. It has 20,000 miles. My plan for this car is to get 400 and just have fun. Do you think that's a good move? What is 38 Canadian in American? Is that like 24?
I don't know, man. Do I look like a currency major?
You look like a Canadian, though.
You know, I agree with what Steve said. The factory clutch in the GR Corolla, I hate how soft it is. That's one more thing I don't like.
Okay, that's a daily thing. One of the reasons why I liked the VB over the VA was I liked the softer clutch.
I want a heavier clutch.
It's a subjective thing.
But you can fix that with a $5 spring.
Okay, so 38 Canadian is 26 American. So that's actually not that bad. I mean, you could probably do better, though.
It's USD, you uncultured swine.
USD. Yeah, I better say it right or I'm going to get kicked out of the country. I am brown.
Oh my god.
Trade in my SPT WRX for a DAT GR, automatic TR. I mean, maybe. Well, okay. The SPT is fine for what it is, but yes, it doesn't compete against an actual automatic. So if you're looking for a GR Corolla, and you want an automatic, then at least it's a good option.
Dude, Subaru needs to quit pushing that CVT. Look what happened in Nissan after pushing their CVT for so long.
Nissan made a lot of other mistakes besides the CVT.
Yeah, you know, I attribute most of them to that CVT.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh wait, here we go. Liam said, "Did you ever figure out the side mirror turn signals on the VB?" Yeah. What happened? Which side mirrors were you talking about? Because I have the Noble zoom in ones, like the wide ones with the signals in it. But are you talking about the actual ones on the mirror on the outside? Because I think there are plugs for it. I think you can do it.
How's the audio system in the GR Corolla? Does it come with a sub factory? Nobody actually. Honestly, there's been people who've done reviews on the audio system. I don't think it's bad from the factory. But then again, I'm not a big audio nerd, so I mean, as long as I have speakers and a way to listen to music, I'm happy.
Well, okay. Here's a better question. On top of what Warmind is saying, have you taken calls in it?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Is it sound better than when you did it in like a VB?
Absolutely. It's
Yeah,
more
VB
clear.
sucks.
It's more responsive. Dude, the biggest thing with the Corolla over the VB, and it's going to sound petty, but since you have to live with it every day, is the infotainment. I hated the infotainment in the WRX because it was so laggy. It was so
It's
slow.
It is slow.
It froze on me. In the GR Corolla, it's fast. It's responsive. It does what you want. Plus, this is going to sound really dumb, and it's probably just because I haven't had a car that will do something fancy like this, but you can do shit from your phone to the car. Like if you open up the Toyota app, it pulls up like my Corolla right there, right?
Yeah, I mean I can do that with my WRX as well.
I can lock it, I can unlock it, I can look at the status, I can view my tire pressure, I can do it does everything.
Yeah, so this is definitely a you haven't had a good car in a while. Most of the cars can do that. Yeah, my WRX, same. Most modern cars have that ability. You just
Okay,
haven't
well,
had a modern
sorry
car.
that I'm a peasant in 2025 and
But-
I buy 30-year-old cars.
But it's true. Like the Subaru infotainment system compared to even like when I look at When I went to California, I had a 2020 Corolla sedan. And even the infotainment system in that was far more responsive than the WRX. It's just a fact.
Dude,
I mean, nobody's saying that Subaru has the best infotainment system. They don't.
No,
They just
no.
finally caught up to everybody else, but it's still kind of
Dude, it's just with my experience with my VB, it was honestly a make or break thing for me, and it sucked 99% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I have to go into Ford? Okay, this was before the update. Why did I have to go into so many menus to change my heated seats?
I know. So they did fix that. They
Did update that. I will give them
very
that.
important.
But why do I have to go into so many menus to change my HVAC? Why is it laggy? Why does it take so? It's
It is very
distracting.
laggy. No, iDoing doesn't have one for the VBs yet. There's a couple other things I wanted to touch. Warmite says we're waiting for ways to get the folding motorized mirrors. I think that would be really cool to do. I wouldn't mind trying that.
It's not hard. I did it on my GR.
I got a question
not,
for
not,
you.
not on my GR WRX. I should specify because now there's too many GR acronyms. Now.
In Active Mogul says Smeedia, any word on any Subi Fest or other events at Dirtfish or similar in Washington?
Honestly, Washington car events kind of suck. There's always so much drama in them. I tend to stay away from them.
Like,
I'll
what
go
kind of
to-
drama?
It's just like I don't care for car shows that much. Like there's one coming up in June that they had me judge last year that they told me they wanted me to judge again this year, so I might be doing that. But like car shows, dude, it's always so much drama. And people don't like the way I judge cars because I don't look at like a show car and I'm like, wow, look at these big fancy wheels. I'm looking in the engine. I'm looking at the shit that other people don't look at.
This is why I think there should be a separate like cosmetic versus performance category, because I know this happens all the time. Because I'm with you. I don't just look at the stuff on the outside. It's the stuff on the inside to me that matters as well. So
It's what's on the inside that counts, Awais. When are you going to do more videos with Devin, Tanner? Devin lives 6 hours away from me. I don't think people realize Devin, Josh, and Remy are on the other side of Washington from me. They're like 5.5, 6 hours away. I see them very rarely. I FaceTime Remy all the time, but I see them very rarely. 24 infotainment isn't nearly as bad as Tanner's. Mine was a 23. I had a 23
After
WRX.
the update did make it better for usability, but it's still really slow. Like, I'll give you an example. If I get an Android tablet from 2013, that's faster than the infotainment system in the. I mean, it's just what it is. Like
you're not buying a WRX for the infotainment, but the fact that they integrated everything into the infotainment is what the problem is.
I agree. I mean, I do like the fact that we have like the up down button for like the heat, but I've actually been putting together this idea of a video. I actually wanted to do a video showcasing all of the voice commands in the VB because like literally nobody talks about it because nobody uses it. I was actually using them the other day, and it was comical, to say the least.
Dude, I tried using the voice commands in mine, and it never did what I wanted.
I know, it's so funny.
It never did what I wanted.
I want to put that video together, because sometimes it works. If you get it right, it works great. But then, if you're not like exactly the way she wants you to talk, then it's so funny.
Hey, does the WX come with wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto now?
24 plus only. 22 and 23,
really?
no. Yeah.
All GR Corollas have it.
Well, of course they do.
And
the fucking 2013 GR Corolla had it.
Wireless charging.
Oh, but was it an option?
It's standard.
It's standard?
My Tacoma has it. You know what's funny, Awais? I used to be 100%. I only own Subarus. Toyota's taken half of me. I've got 50% Toyota, 50% Subaru now, man.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, they sell the option to put like an aftermarket, but I agree. The problem is in 2025, some of these things I consider just like a standard quality of life. And Subaru has a different opinion on what is standard quality of life. And they always have. That's why the cars have just sucked on the
That's why they've been weird, yeah. Like, you know.
But see, then it's like, you have to, okay.
Yeah, but say, wait, stop. No. I want to go back to this because we talked about this earlier. What Raul said, for 10 to 15K more, it better be standard. The GR Corolla is not 10 to 15K more than a WRX anymore. I literally pulled them up earlier. You can get GR Corollas for low $30,000. Low 30s. The cheapest one I saw was $33,000. and it comes standard with like all this stuff.
Now, okay. Now, would you want to buy, and this is for the collective people who are in here, there's a combination of WRX and everything else. Would you buy a brand new GR Corolla for $37,000? Or would you buy a 6,000 mile used TR for $32,000?
I'd take the Corolla. Hands down, I would take the Corolla.
Because you can get a TR right now for between 32 and 33 under 10,000 miles.
Yeah, see, the Corolla is more fun to drive though, and in my like we talked about earlier, it's subjective, but I genuinely think the Corolla is more fun to drive. It has more personality, and it has more spirit.
I don't know, man. I like the idea of
Because
it.
guess what? A TR is going to drive the same as my 23 Premium did, my
but
22
it
Premium did.
It
It
doesn't
does.
drive the same.
It's going
because
to.
the TR.
No. You shut your mouth real quick. I'm not talking about suspension, I'm talking about the physical engine. It's going to drive the same, and it is boring to me. It doesn't have a punch. It doesn't have any excitement. It doesn't have any spirit.
But I mean, all those things are still subjective because people actually get into like a 2-liter Sonata, a 2-liter turbo Sonata, and say the same things.
Okay, wait. Because you drove one recently. In your honest, I want your 100% most honest opinion. Which has more spirit when you drove it, an FA24 or an EJ? Don't you lie to me. Don't you lie to me. I see you smiling. Don't you lie to me.
But the reason I like
No. You just tell me which one. Which one had more spirit when you drove it? Don't you lie to me.
If I can be 100% honest with you, spirit isn't the word that I would use.
Personality.
It would
Call it
be
whatever you want.
Yeah, and so I'd say yeah. If I say personality, it's the older car. I agree, but I think
But you know what you do? No. You know why I think it is, and this is not me saying that the FA24 is a bad engine. I think it's the way that they tuned the FA24 because all of the older ones had like a zone where they'd pack a punch and they'd give you like that rush of excitement.
So this car wasn't like that at all.
Oh, it was not?
The reason why I agree with you, but for I think different reasons. It wasn't the engine for me that did it. It was the shitty dash, the shitty interior, the fact that the doors don't have the window frames. You know, it's the little things.
Bro, that's my favorite part. That's why I love the old ones.
Right. It's the fact that when I stuck my head out of it, like my entire body was already out, and it's such a small car. it's those things to me that
it's a combination.
Right. It's the sum of the parts, and actually that car is on a Cabo TS, so it's actually a very linear power band. It felt fantastic to drive. It was everything combined. The noise.
Yeah, it's an experience.
It was like so low. It felt like I was in a tin can. You know, I had to look back to
there's little
reverse
death
because
traps.
there's no. Yeah. So it was just like everything combined. But I think that I would, and I want to be fair. If I sat in an old RX-7, I'd feel the same way. If I sat in a CRX, I'd feel the same way, right? And I don't think it's fair.
Okay, hang on, wait. So in 25 years from now, if you sit in a VBWX, do you think you'd feel that way?
I don't know. Not anymore. No, I really don't think I will. Because after like 2010, cars changed. They became a little bit bigger. They became more comfortable. They became more roomy. It wouldn't be the same. Now, I think it would have to be a specific car. Now, if I drove a Civic Type R 10 years from now, I think I would get that feeling. Because, yes, they are creating a thing for that person.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. The WRX, it has strayed a little bit. I think
a little.
I think the WRX is created for people who liked WRXs when they were kids.
I think the
they're
WRX
adults.
has turned into an A to B car that somebody wants a little bit of extra kick out of if they don't want to buy an Impreza.
And you're absolutely right. That is exactly what it is. But a lot of us that watched WRC when we were kids, when we were 16.
Oh, okay,
that
I'm going to
was in the
stop you
beginning.
right there. I'm going to stop you right there. And this is going to make some people mad. I'm going to tell you right now, and I will die on this hill. A WRX off the lot is not a rally car. It has literally, Subaru has not done WRC in so long. Their heritage with WRC died like a decade ago.
The last
These
time
are not rally cars anymore. None of them.
the last
When was
time
the
a
last
W
time Subaru competed?
the last time there was a WRX in World Rally Championship was a narrow body WRX. It's been that long, and nobody even likes narrow bodies.
No. Narrow body hate is common amongst every Subaru owner except for narrow body owners. Except for some other narrow body owners, I've seen them hate on other narrow body owners. It's a very violent, toxic cesspool of narrow bodiness.
Our tuner at work has a narrow body, and he loves it and hates it at the same time.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. There are some people who are very proud of their narrow bodies. I
agree with you. The WRX has not been a rally car for a long time.
No.
And I don't think anybody needs to. Yeah, David Taylor said, Team O'Neill video, please pull up. Yes, I know they do that whole like Will It Rally series, and it's great to see a WRX on there do that.
Yeah, but it's not even a homologation rally car anymore in no way, sense, or form.
There's a difference between can a car rally or can a good driver make a car rally.
Any car can rally. You can make any car a rally car.
But from the factory.
But the whole homologation thing of WRX and people saying that the WRX is a natural rally car nowadays is just so far from the truth. They haven't done it in 15 years.
There's been rumors that they're going to go back, but until I see it,
yeah,
we've got that kick-ass VB, but it's only an ARA.
You show me a good like legacy like an old 90s legacy turbo, GC, GM6, GD, WRX, GD, STI. Oh hell, I'll even throw narrow body in there. Oh yeah. Totally, I'm all for it, man. Yeah, it could be a rally car, straight rally. But this new shit, nah, it's not. It ain't it.
Oh boy, here we go. Dio said you've convinced me to sell my 23 Limited. What are you gonna buy, Dio? If you sell your 23 Limited?
Hey, I want to touch on this. Lots of headroom for VB, GR. Not really. That is actually not true. There's actually a good amount of headroom in the GR. The one thing that is the known fault, and I'll admit it, is the valve springs. But because it's an inline engine, it's really easy to replace valve springs. Really easy.
Yeah, something that people forget is inline 3 and 4 cylinders are actually
so
really easy to work on because the heads are right there on top.
You literally just pressurize the cylinder with compressed air and it keeps the valves up, and you take the old springs out, you put the new ones in, bada bing, bada boom.
People talk about like how easy Subarus are to work on. They are because of the space. But nothing really beats the heads right up top because like I gotta do spark plugs for my wife's Volvo, and although the Volvo sucks major donkey dicks for everything else, at least the fucking spark plugs are right there up top.
You want to know what's also great about the GR Corolla Aways? We have D4S, so we not only have direct injection, we have port injection, baby.
If you guys haven't really noticed yet, Toyota is definitely sponsoring Tanner from now on.
I fucking wish, dude. Dude, it's like the same thing. And I've said this for years. If Subaru actually paid Toyota to use their D4S on the WRX would have so much more potential.
Yeah.
So much more. They would have an ECU that could control port injection. They would come factory with port injectors. It's literally on the BRZ.
But I think they know this. Okay, this goes back to that whole conspiracy thing. I think Toyota knows this shit. They know that it doesn't make sense for a Subaru to have an STI. They know if they come out with a GR Corolla, they're going to make more money. They're capitalizing on the money they're making on the GR86 because they know
why. Okay, but here's the thing. Toyota owns at least 20% stock into Subaru. Why would Toyota want to see Subaru fail? Because
no, not to see them fail, but they know that stock is going into their regular line, which is doing gangbusters, right? They're selling a shit ton of everything else. But they knew that if they want to change their whole persona of like Toyota is just like a grandpa car, they need more than just a GR86. That's why they got that GR Corolla. That's why they had the GR Supra.
Everything Cars is hating on this 3-cylinder, but I'm gonna remind you, man, the guys down in Australia are making 800 wheel on these 3-cylinders.
Let's
put the gap. Put the gap, dude. They're making some sauce on these things. And the Yaris
is that what they're doing?
Yeah, it's in the Yaris. It's the same engine.
Oh, okay. 2.0, 740 horsepower despite stock bottom end. Okay.
Dude, it's a 3-cylinder.
But see, I want to go back to something that I said earlier. Legacy. Yeah. Whether you like the new WRX or not is irrelevant in the fact that a WRX still exists today after 30 years.
A waste.
The GR Corolla is not going to exist in 30 years from now.
A waste.
Same thing with
how What's older, an Impreza or a Corolla?
But not a GR Corolla.
And then
It's different because yeah,
well,
that's
no, it's
that's
not.
not
No,
what we're
it's not.
talking
No,
about.
it's not. Look at
Yeah.
the 80s. Do you consider the AE 86 an iconic Corolla rear-wheel drive fun car, not a legacy car of the Corolla?
But that's a part of the GR86. That's not the same thing, right? The GR86 coming out was supposed
It's
to be
still a
sure,
Corolla.
but it's not the same thing.
I don't.
You can't.
I disagree.
The
That's
car
like,
that,
that's like saying that the WRX isn't the same because now it doesn't have an EJ in it.
no, no,
anymore. It's
no,
lost
no,
its
no, no,
heritage.
no. We're
And
talking
it just
about
has the name.
no. I agree with you to a certain extent, but the Truno or whatever was a very specific car on its own.
And it was a Corolla.
It was a Corolla, but it was a very different Corolla than the rest of the Corollas were. Because at that same time,
Bro, you're
my
splitting
family-
hairs at this
No,
point.
no,
You can't change
that's
the
not
logic.
fair because that
You're
80s, that 88 Corolla that you guys see in Initial D, my family owned an 88 Corolla, and it was a very different car. The Corolla that's out today is based off the Corolla that my family owned in 1988. Just a
Well,
very
actually, okay,
friendly-
hang on. Okay, then if we're going by your logic, the WRX is not an Impreza and it doesn't have any heritage because it stopped being an Impreza in 2015.
Yeah, I'm totally okay with that. That's why we
all
don't
right,
like those
cool. All right,
cars.
we're going with that then. Then it has no heritage.
You're
It's not an Impreza, and it's still a relatively new
You're
car.
absolutely right. But the whole thing with the Corolla and the GR86 was that the old Corolla and GR86, that was the whole
I'm
the
just
era.
trying to use your logic against you here.
The problem is it doesn't work with Subaru because we never had two different versions of the Impreza.
Yes, we did. We had three: the Impreza WRX, and the Impreza WRX STI.
But they weren't actually
Literally,
different
all of
cars,
them were
though.
different. They were all Imprezas, different trim levels.
That's the thing. The GR86, the old AE86 was literally a different car than the 88 Corolla FX. Like these were actually two different
all
cars.
right, fine. We're going down a rabbit hole we don't need to go down right now.
It's okay.
We're splitting hairs.
I don't think that is splitting hairs though.
We're splitting hairs on this.
Look, at the end of the day, I know that many people probably agree with this. Is most regular car enthusiasts actually love all of these cars.
Yeah.
There's no real hate between the Corolla or the WRX or the Elantra, and it's amazing to see that at least I know the world has changed, but we still
How
so
have
many
we not
options.
brought up the Golf R in this at all?
Because oh my god, the Golf R is like,
How have we not brought that up at all?
they're not they're not even gonna have manuals anymore this year.
Yeah, they're all autos.
They're all
But I'm going to
autos
be
now.
honest. I wouldn't I've owned a Golf R. If I were to buy another one, I would not buy a manual. I would buy a
A
DCT
DCT.
or DSG. My apologies. I would buy a
Oh
DSG.
yeah, that's right.
The DSG is more fun. As weird as that sounds, the DSG is more fun than the manual transmission in the Golfs.
Mm-hmm.
They're granted, yeah, you don't have a clutch pedal, you don't have all this other stuff. On a day-to-day basis, that DSG is a blast.
I always wanted a Golf R. I had a GTI, and
Mhm.
the only reason I couldn't get a Golf R is because I most definitely did not make enough money to spend $800 a month on a Golf R. So I bought a
That's fair.
$12,000 GTI. My payment was like $250.
Dude, the GTIs are solid though. We still have our
That's right.
GTI.
Yeah, I had an APR Stage 1 tune on it, and it made way more power than I actually preferred it stock because like it wheel hopped like crazy.
Yeah, they do.
It's
They
front
do.
wheel drive. It's like it is what it is.
Melanie's does that. It's a DSG and it does that.
I mean, it's not. You can't stop it.
No.
But even like stock making like 200 horsepower, like it's so much fun to drive. I
Bro,
love my
She's
car.
got a nice little she has an access port on it, little
Mm.
cob intake, man. She zips around in that thing. She has a blast.
Is it 4-door or 2-door?
4-door.
It's like the when I moved from Houston to St. Louis, I had my GTI. It was a 2-door. I put the seats down. I put everything. My bed. I put my computer, my car, all of my clothes, everything. I moved my entire apartment from Houston to St. Louis in a 2-door GTI, and it was amazing. It was great.
They're spacious, man. We have put some unoddly large objects in the back of a GTI to
Yeah.
move them around.
I put a king size. It was rolled up, but I put a king size mattress in my GTI.
What year was your GTI? Or what generation?
MK6.
Okay.
2012.
Yeah, because hers is Mark 7. Mine was also
dude.
a 7.
I would love another like GTI. As like
I
a day,
wouldn't.
as a daily. I
Only
need a
because-
daily actually.
Corolla, man, perfect daily.
Actually, it's either gonna be like a base Corolla or
That's what I'm saying. Base Corolla. You don't need a GR.
I-
I'm just saying base Corolla because
I
apparently
want-
the GR Corolla and the Corolla are two different things. Apparently they're two different cars.
the old ones are okay. Or I was thinking about picking up like a 2005 Civic Si, the hatchback.
Dude, just get a new base Corolla.
Yeah, if I get a daily, it needs to be like a low power.
Get something that's reliable,
fuel,
good on
yeah.
gas. It's spacious.
Yep. Yep. And so
And
I
you can
had
put- And you can put GR Corolla parts on it to make it look cool.
Is that allowed? Am I gonna get like?
I don't
a
care,
badge
man.
slut shame?
There's no up badge slut shaming over here.
Okay, so somebody brought this up here. I just saw it here. Everything Car says Volkswagen has lost its balls. So
I agree with
love,
that.
You think so?
I agree with that.
Hold on. Raul said, "Good man, good thing you left Houston is terrible." Dude, I'm gonna be honest. I know the construction is there all the time. I miss Houston, and also because my family's still back there.
Yeah, because I used to live in Louisiana. We used to go to Houston like every weekend.
Which is funny because I lived in Houston and I used to go to Louisiana at least once a month. I used to go to Lafayette.
Lafayette's kind of gross. At least it was when I was there. But
Lafayette-
I mean, we used to go to Lafayette.
We used to go to
like
New
Lake
Orleans, too.
Charles. What was the one up there? It's been so long. It's been 10 years. I haven't lived there in 10 years. Wow.
Yeah,
Time flies, man.
time does.
Oh! Somebody put a Tribeca in the chat, and I wanted you to know, Oasis, when we went and we bought the GR Corolla, there was a white Tribeca on the lot, and I looked at Melanie and I said, "That's what Oasis wants to buy," and she said, "That's gross."
But wait, hold on though. Was it a B9 Tribeca though?
It was a B9 Tribeca.
Oh, what is wrong with her? It's the Hawkeye of SUVs. We've been through this.
It was $2,200.
It's the perfect price for some of the best suspension a Subaru has ever built.
No, that is the worst car that Subaru's ever built.
I'm telling you, if I win $1 million, I fucking promise you,
Well, if you win $1 million, you're gonna get an army of B9 Tribecas.
No, I'm gonna get one B9 Tribeca, and it's gonna be a track spec, beautiful B9 Tribeca, and I will live in that car. I promise you, that is exactly what's gonna happen.
All right, man. I'll see you with a tent on top of that thing, living out
Yeah.
in the woods.
Oh, by the way, I'm actually going to see a buddy of mine down in Festus, or he's like a mile from me. He has a tent for my WRX, and I am still.
Hey,
running my
I
tent.
offered you could use ours.
Yeah, but you gotta send it to me.
No, you have to come get it.
Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. It's a day and 23 hours for me to get to you.
Don't say I didn't offer.
It's true. It's true. It's true. You did offer, but this guy is down the street.
I love the GR Corolla, but with Toyota confirming the Celica, do you think there would be a second gen GR Corolla? I do.
I don't think so.
No,
I think they're gonna cancel because they don't want to cannibalize their own.
I don't think they're going to
profits.
cannibalize their market. Celica will be. I think if anything, the Celica is going to compete with the GT86.
Hold on. Isn't the GR Supra going away? Isn't that happening?
I thought they announced that, but they changed their mind, kind of thing.
They changed their mind. Let's see.
Don't quote me on that, but
Let's see. GR Corolla cancel. GR Supra. Is the GR Supra is currently still ending in 2025. However, there is a new Supra expected in 2027. So whatever the hell that,
What does that
means.
mean?
I don't know. Maybe they're going to use it. Maybe they'll make a new engine and throw it in both in the Celica and the Supra.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it could be. It's hard to say.
If Toyota hasn't ventured away from FA20 and FA24 and the GT86, I don't think they're just going to up and go woo with the Supra.
Everything car says BR Tribeca is actually pretty nice. See, there you go. See, I got one. I got one. You got one. Somebody's considering buying a GR Corolla, and I got a Tribeca lover.
Absolutely not.
So Cruel Unknown says Celica is going to be a 400 horsepower hybrid. So currently, as far as I know, it's supposed to be a combustion 4-liter turbo. We don't know exactly what's supposed to come in.
4
yet.
liter or 4 cylinder?
Oh my God, I'm sorry. It's going to be a 4-cylinder.
There's a difference because apparently somebody in the
Hey,
chat gets real upset if something doesn't have enough cylinders to waste.
It's the Stella talking, bro. I'm on like my 4th one.
Sorry, man, dude. Next time, try some Familiar. Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not much of a drinker. I think the only time I drink is like when I go to parties or when I'm live streaming.
The
which is
only time
very
I'm
rare.
the only reason I'm drinking right now is because you said you were having beer, so I was like, I'll get a
Oh,
beer.
there you go.
Now I got pizza.
Dude, I have pizza too, and I'm ready to go eat it. But I'm not gonna. It's so much further for me to walk to go get my pizza than it is.
This was DiGiorno.
Oh, it wasn't delivery?
No, it was DiGiorno.
So let's see. Here's everything that we know about the Celica. Apparently it's gonna be mid-engine 2-liter turbo with a 6-speed manual. That's what they're saying, and it is rumored to be all-wheel drive.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You have to buy any other car with that we've talked about tonight to replace your WRX. What would it be? We're talking Golf R, FL5, GR Corolla. We'll even throw older STI in there, like GD STI.
You're gonna be really surprised by my answer.
I have a feeling you're going to pick the FL5.
I'm not.
Really?
Golf R.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
My GTI, even though it was 2012, I thought had some of the best interior of any other car I ever driven.
It does have a really nice interior.
It's comfortable. The seats were pretty cool. The infotainment system was pretty awesome for its time. I loved the dash on it. I love the feel. I love the driving position. Everything about it felt great. Now, of course, I haven't driven a Golf R in 15 years, so it could probably suck today, but I honestly don't believe that it does. It probably has the best quality of life, best comfort, best luxury, best everything. For a daily.
Then again, it does have a heftier price tag.
It does have a heavy, but I mean, same thing I think about the Type R. The Type R has a heftier price tag, but when I sat in a Type R, I didn't feel the same way as when I sat in my Golf.
Unpopular opinion, I don't like the red in the Type R.
Okay.
I would just want black.
Yeah,
Then again, I'm
a lot of people have that problem with car. They prefer just black. I understand that.
Austin Baker, what if Subaru made a turbo flat 6 WRX STI? I can tell you right now, Subaru doesn't have the testicular fortitude to do anything cool anymore. They stopped all that years ago. They would never put a flat 6 in anything. I had to do it, and then they shunned me. They put me in the corner.
Yeah,
No,
I agree with
Subaru
that.
would never do it. They would not be able to pass emissions with it. They would not.
So the Grim Griefer said, bring back the Supra MK3. Now, I'm not going to talk about
7Ms.
MK3, but
7Ms.
I think that the new Supra, I think it is a beautiful car. Inside
I think it
and
looks
out.
great.
I think it looks amazing.
So
if I had the money, I would actually drop all cars and get a
yeah, you know what's
Supra.
funny? When we went to go get the Corolla, it was between a GR Supra and a GR Corolla, and I opted for the GR Corolla over the
Man.
Supra.
I would have got a Supra. Every time I see one in person, I think it's
that's
such
what
a
I
beautiful
thought
car.
too. That's what I thought too until I went out and I drove one, and I had more fun in the Corolla than I did in the Supra. Like
Was the Supra automatic or manual?
that one was a manual,
Okay.
but I found myself having more fun in the Corolla than I did the Supra, which sounds really weird. I know it doesn't.
No, because
doesn't-
it's a different car, though, right? Low
True.
2-liter coupe versus like 4-door. Like, was it the feel of how the car?
It was just like we were talking about earlier. Is the entire experience?
Yeah.
Like just drive. I don't know what it was about it, but the Corolla just felt more fun. It was more fun and more engaging. The Supra felt kind of how I felt about the VBWRX, where it was just yeah, it's a car. It's kind of meh for
You
me.
heard
For
it here,
me,
folks.
For
You heard
me.
it here. Tanner said it. There's no difference between a
Oh
VBWRX
my
and a
god!
GR Supra. It's
That's
literally
not what I said.
the
I
same
said
car.
I said the driving experience felt similar for me, and
Yeah,
it wasn't as
a
much
GR
fun.
Supra feels exactly like a
That's
VBWRX.
literally not what I said. That's
Like,
literally not what I
it's
said.
amazing. I cannot even believe it. I can't believe it. That's so awesome. What a compliment.
Why
to the
isn't anyone
VWRX.
talking about right-hand drive cars? Because they're all 30 years old, clapped out, and it costs
Yeah.
more money to maintain them than it does to go get something newer.
You know how many curbs people hit when they first drive a right-hand drive car?
Do you know how rusty and falling apart these freaking 30-year-old clap boxes from Japan. They're all clap boxes. I don't care what any of you guys say.
Here
I've
we
had
go.
cars. I've literally imported cars from Japan in the past. They are all clap boxes.
Here, I wanna touch on this. Pete Santos says Supra or M3.
M3, F80 M3 I would take.
You think so?
I don't like the G80s. I really like the body style of the F80s. Really like them.
I am not a fan of a lot of the newer BMW body shapes.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't like. I
I
remember
like
when
the older
G,
body shapes.
I remember when the G80 came out. That everybody was like, "Oh my God, they're so ugly. They hate them, X, Y, and Z." Now everybody has one.
I don't hate any of the new BMW shapes, but if I compare them to the older shapes, especially between 2001 and 2005, to me just look way.
The
way
M2,
better.
I absolutely hate the shape of the M2. It looks dumb.
Yeah.
It looks like a box.
M2. So for people who don't really know what we're talking about, let me just pull it up here.
You know what I'm talking about, right? When I say it looks like.
Pretty sure I do. M2.
It looks dumb. It looks dumb.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not a fan of any of these newer cars.
The F80 though, absolutely, I would take an F80. I really like the F80s. Tanner is so far gone that kind of statement makes sense to him, dude. I'm telling you. Hey Tanner, with the GR talk,
Whatever.
Hey Tanner, with the GR talk, I'm feeling like I'd love one, but I'm not sure that it would be a good decision to trade for 22 WRX Limited with the amount of mods intake from under. Dude, what I did with mine, and I'm not saying if you're happy, and I'm not saying go out and like get rid of your car because it's something that we're saying. If you're happy with your car at the end of the day, that's all that matters. As long as you enjoy your car, that is all that matters. But if that's something you're actually considering, I would say put your car back to stock, sell off your aftermarket parts, and then trade it in factory. But don't go out and get rid of your guys' cars because like this conversation that Awais and I are just having.
Tanner wants you to get rid of your WRX.
This is
He
all
wants-
subliminal messaging.
Tanner wants to. You guys don't know, but
Join me.
Toyota is giving
Join
Tanner
me.
a $50 Amazon gift card for every WRX that he gets traded in.
You caught me, man. $50 at Amazon.
Oh goodness, that's funny.
You caught me.
Yeah, I don't know, man. When it comes to like modified cars, it is harder because people do have to undo a lot of the stuff that they've done. But like, I'll give you an example. Like the AOS I put on my car, that bitch is not coming off. It is going with the car. I don't.
Well, that's
Everything else will come off, but that
something
AOS is
you have
staying
to
on
cut
that
the
car.
factory PCV hoses and do stuff like that. So if it's like a permanent type of mod, then yeah.
Charge that to the game. It is not coming home.
Raul, I'm trading in right now. I love my car, but the comfort sounds so nice. I'm going to be honest. One of my favorite features in the GR Corolla that I never experienced in another car was having a heated steering wheel. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
I get in the car when it's cold in the morning on my way to the shop. I turn on my heated steering wheel, and that thing is like nice and toasty within like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm cruising in comfort.
So here's the problem I have. We have a Volvo XC90 from 2021. It is the most luxurious and comfortable car I have ever owned in my life. It's not mine, it's my wife's car. So being in that, and then on the weekends when I say to my wife, "Oh, let's take the WRX," I'm just like, "Fuck, this sucks." The same thing. It's got heated steering wheel, it has heated seats.
It's got no like major amenities.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I'll give you an example. Volvo does this. I'm sure other cars do it too. When you turn the heat on in the morning when it's cold, you know your car's not warmed up yet, but what the Volvo will do is it'll start running everything, but it actually will block the vents until it hits a certain temperature, and then and I'm like, dude, I understand that there's a massive price difference between a WRX and a Volvo, but like when you look at luxury, they think about shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's so amazing.
It's the little stuff, man.
But that little stuff is costing me $40,000 more than a WRX.
That's true.
There is that. An XC90 is not a cheap car, you know.
Hey, you know what another nice little luxury is with the Corolla? If you get the higher trim, you get carbon fiber roof, man.
Yeah.
Carbon fiber roof. 2-piece brake rotors from the factory on all trim levels.
I never bring him on, but this is George.
George, hello,
This
George.
is Tama's cat.
I've got Mochi down here.
Look, George, look over here.
George,
look at the screen.
dude,
Look, where are
he
you
looks
going, George?
he looks like he does not want to be here.
Yeah, he's not like
George- George does not want to be here, man.
Yeah, George is not a. He's not a lap cat. Well, he's a lap cat, but he's not like a.
He's not an on-camera lap cat.
Yeah. You okay? I already fed you, bro. I already fed you. Yeah, there you go. Now he's fine because I'm petting him, but I'm holding him. But this is Tama's cat. He's 10 years old. And I already fed you, so I don't know why he literally never comes down here to talk to me. But
Dude, he
Tama
was just
and
coming
Ryan's
down to see
not
what was
here,
going on.
but Yeah.
He was just coming down to say hi.
He's probably like, where the hell is everybody? Because Tama and them, they're spending the night at Grandma's house, so they're not even here. I already fed you. Get out of here. Okay, let's catch up. What's going on? Cat and puppy.
Have you ever had Karuba Elderflower Red Bull?
I actually don't drink Red Bull anymore or energy drinks because I had a heart murmur when I was younger, irregular heartbeat. So if I do any energy drinks, it kind of fucks me up.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. One of my subscribers sent this. I don't want to say his name because I don't want him to potentially get in trouble. If this, I don't know if he would get in trouble. He works at Red Bull. He sent me 100 Red Bulls.
Wow.
Dude, I went to my PO box. I was like, "There's no way he actually sent these." I open it. I'm like, "Oh my god, dude! It's just 100 Red Bulls."
That's amazing.
I was like, "That's so nice." I was like,
I haven't
"You did
even
not
checked
have
my
to do
PO
that."
box in like months because nobody sends me shit.
I always forget to check mine, and then I go down there randomly, and there's just like stuff. I'm like, "Oh wow."
Oh, here we go. This is okay. So this is really interesting because I want to talk about this because we almost did this.
What?
Would you guys? Pete Santos says, would you guys consider an Ascent and tune it, maybe even STI swap it? So
Absolutely not.
we actually had a guy in St. Louis that 6 weeks swapped his STI, his Ascent, and tuned it. It was like a, I don't know what year it was, but we also had, I think the person who's doing that is a little different than like you and I.
Why would we do it?
Outbacks can be tuned. Outback Wilderness, as they get a little bit extra power. I think it's
my
actually
buddy-
really cool for that to
My
happen.
buddy Nicky has one.
I think it's great. Let them have a little bit extra power. There's like nothing wrong with that.
But why? So I'm assuming this Ascent was originally a CVT, correct?
Oh yeah.
So how did he bypass all of the CAN network communication from removing the CVT to put in? I'm assuming he gave up a lot of features on that car to just
would have
it
to.
in there. Yeah.
But then you give up all that, but you gain the ability to say.
Then why
I
buy
have
an
a
Ascent?
6-speed. It's for the space.
Then why put a 6-speed in it? It just doesn't make sense. It defeats the purpose.
Sometimes people do things because they have the money to do that. It's for us. I mean, me is different. I don't have the money. I don't have the Smeedia bucks to be able to do something like that.
How do I get this media bucks?
You keep building. You build your 57th EJ.
Oh, this is the last EJ car I'm building for myself.
Gianfranco Armas says, "I love you, Tanner."
I love you, Mr. Armas. Amos.
Reefy wants to know SubiFest in Cali. I won't be at SubiFest in California, but Tanner
I will
be.
be.
At SubiFest.
I will be there with the
Actually,
RS.
if Aeroflow sends me a ticket, I might actually come out. And
I will be there with
they
the
probably
RS.
will.
I will be at the Outfront Motorsports booth.
You know what? Let me think. If you're going to be there, maybe I should come down.
I will be at the Outfront Motorsports booth.
I think that'd be a lot of fun. Here we go. King Gat said, would you choose a non-modified 2019 STI with 40,000 kilometers, which is like, what, 28,000
We're
miles?
just going to just keep it in kilometers, man.
For
Don't try-
$50,000 or 29 STI with 40,000 kilometers with 300 horsepower for $50,000?
I'm going to tell you one. I'm taking whatever one's the cheapest because if it blows
Yeah.
up, I can fix it. But if you're not as savvy in the EJ world, take whatever one is closer to stock.
Yeah. This is actually true because eventually...
If you have
Yeah,
not
Ninja.
built these cars or tinkered with them in the past and this is your first one, buy one that is factory because you do not know what you're getting yourself into. You do not know what to look for. And yes, you can look up things. I have a couple videos on like buyer guides and things like that for EJs, but there's so many things that can go wrong so quickly with EJs because a lot of the time people will revert them back to stock, but they'll do a half-ass job. Then they'll go to a dealer. The dealer doesn't want to sell the car because they don't want to be liable for it, so they send it to auction. Another dealer buys it not knowing what they just bought, and then they put it on their lot. And then somebody comes to look at it. They buy it not knowing what the hell's going on with the car. Then it goes to the new owner blows up on the new owner because old owner did a whole bunch of shady shit, traded it in because he just wanted it out from the car, and you don't know what's going on. So buy one that is as close to stock or stock. 100%.
This actually, so we actually do pre and post inspections for
PPI.
STIs. We have had a few WRXs. We've had a few STIs that come in with mods, no access port, unmarried, just a piece of shit. And
You
it
know
sucks.
what's funny?
It sucks that people do that.
That person used to be me.
You bastard.
I have been that person.
So here you go. 2 things we learned today. There's no difference between a WRX and a GR Corolla or a Supra. And Tanner keeps trading in pieces of shit STIs.
Dude, I felt so bad. So you know what's funny? So you remember my old like 750 wheel 2014 WRX hatch that I parted out, traded in, and got my
was
VD
it
for?
the silver one?
Yeah, it was a silver
Yes.
one.
Mhm.
So I tried to put that car back to as close to stock as possible because the dealership gave me $15K for that to trade it in on a VB. And I called a tow truck and I towed it down there because it would start, and they gave me $15,000 for it. So they ran it through their service department, got it to run kind of run, sent it to auction. Some other dealership bought it. Some dude bought it. Whole bunch of people were like, "Hey man, I think this guy bought your old WRX and it's having issues." Blew up on him like 2 days later. I was like, "Oh fuck, dude, did you buy the warranty at least?" I publicly said, "Nobody buy this piece of shit." Somebody bought it. Thankfully, he bought the warranty, but it's like, it's older versions of me that you got to watch out for. That'll trade in half-ass WRX.
And by older version, there's no real limit to how older. Even 20 minutes ago, you got to be careful.
I don't really trade them in anymore.
I want to go back earlier to what Cruel Unknown said. He said Volvo wagons are baller AF. I honestly agree. If I could buy any Volvo wagon, it would be a 2003
Really?
V70.
Why?
It's fucking beautiful.
All Tanner's fault. It is all my
an
fault.
amazing
Dude,
car.
there's a pretty sweet Volvo on Cars and Bids not too long ago that I was looking at. It was like all murdered out. It looked real good. It was bagged and whatnot. Dude, it looked so good. I was like, what is this? I looked, I was like, that's a Volvo? I was like, that thing looks sweet. You know what? Oh,
I would get one. I've been trying to get my wife to trade in for either a Volvo wagon or an Outback Wilderness. And I'm so close to getting an Outback Wilderness.
You know what I really want? Audi RS6, the wagon. It's like a V8 wagon. Dude, they're so sweet.
We actually have one here in St. Louis, and everybody in our car group has been pushing other people to go buy it just so we can have one here.
Dude, they're cool.
It'd be amazing. Yeah. Reefy said, "Will we see either? We have my own booth or with Mishimoto." Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's gonna hang out. Hawkman says, "Waste, can you get me a booth spot?" I mean, maybe. I probably
Waste has all the connections, man.
I could probably get you a booth spot with like a 6-Star Motorsport. Maybe that might be an option.
Tanner, I have a question to Reefy. What is your question, my son?
Dude, Volvo. I know Volvo sucks so much. Like when I do an oil change on my WRX, it takes me 10 minutes. When I do a oil change on my Volvo, it takes me 45 minutes.
I thought you were going to say when I do a Volvo on my oil change.
If I wish I could do a Volvo on my oil change, I
thought that's where that was going for a minute.
Every time we get we actually don't work on Volvos anymore at work because you try to do one small thing and it's 17 other steps that you have to do.
Yeah, that's a Swedish car, man.
It sucks.
Tanner, we would have sold you a 97 Quattro if you wanted to. I don't want a 97 Quattro. I'm sorry. You know what I do want? And I bet you you'd want one too, Mr. Aways.
Yeah.
A Ford Escort Cosworth.
With the wing in the back.
With the wing in the back.
With the weird ass
wing in the back.
100%.
Dude, I love them.
Yeah.
I want one. They're quite expensive.
Are we going to Boxer Fest this year? I don't think I'm going to make it to Boxer Fest this year.
I'll go to Boxer Fest if the waste goes. Where's it at? Wait, but where does this happen before I commit?
Pennsylvania.
I'm not. Oh no, I have to. I was talking. I was talking to my turn 14 rep the other day, and I promised I would go to Pennsylvania anyway. So I guess 3 birds, 1 stone. Let's go, Wace.
Yeah, I said if I go to Pennsylvania, then I need to make it a long trip because I got to go back to Felix, and I want to stop by IAG.
You can come with me to turn 14 and get a tour of turn 14.
I'd love that. I try to hawk turn 14 parts on a daily basis.
See, there you go. I'm sure you guys have answers for. So, wife got an O2 WRX motor, had no compression. The crank pulley with time on spins like crazy with ease. What's your thoughts? Sounds like it has absolutely no compression and it's just spinning freely.
Up here, George. Up here. Come on.
Yeah, it sounds like no compression, man. If it's just spinning freely, it should not spin freely.
Look who's back. Somebody wanted to hang out.
Senor George. You know what's funny? I'm actually building an EJ20 on the channel soon. It'll be my first EJ20 build that I've videoed. So that'll be fun.
George, where are you going, bro? What do you want?
Dude, I'm actually kind of excited for this one. I have a client who's bringing me, I'm going to do a video series on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 2004 WRX, 20,000 original miles.
Wow.
Needs full engine build, so we're doing the whole kit and caboodle on it. It'll be fun little EJ20 stuff.
I need to come up there so you can teach me how to build engines.
I'll show you. I will set an engine in front of you and let you do it, and I'll just guide you.
I know. I was telling Tama that. I said it actually would be. That's like great information. Like, you know how much more helpful I would be here if I knew how to do that.
Yeah, I will literally give you all of my tools and say, here's how you measure everything. You go at it. If you have any questions or you want me to verify anything, just let me know, and I'll just let you go to town.
Yeah, I would love that. I just got to make it out there. It's still on my list. I am going to come out there. I don't know when I'm going to do it, but soon.
One day.
One day for sure. It's always one day, but I'd say one day sooner rather than later. I'm hoping before this year is over.
Yo, just tell Ecotech it's for a work trip.
Yeah, honestly, if
put it on the company card.
If he found out that I'm going to learn how to build engines, he actually would be like, that's really helpful because right now we only have 2 people who build. I mean, they're amazing at it, but I think most of the other guys are really good too. But they do.
I'm gonna be honest. Once you've done one, it's really not hard to do. It's just methodical.
Mm-hmm. But that's the thing. Like, I'm really good. I'm a fast learner, but I need to learn visually, and I need to do it. If I can do it one time, I can learn it.
You know what the best way to learn how to build an engine is? Do it for your own car because you're not gonna fuck it up.
Yeah.
Because you need make sure it's your only car that you have, your only form of transportation.
That's exactly what I've been doing. Is like I said, if I'm going to take the car engine out, I'm going to take it out.
That's literally how I learned how to do it. That is how I learned how to do it. It was my 05 STI. That was the first engine that I had built an engine for, or first car I built an engine for. And I was like, and I would take Melanie's GTI when she was like off work to go like run errands or do whatever I had to, because I bought this car with bent valves, and then it all just went catastrophic and everything like that. So, yeah, the best way to learn is make sure it's your only vehicle.
Yeah. And
make sure you're really willing to learn so that way you can have your car back.
Yeah, I think that's how it's going to be. But anyway, I think it is time for me to go to bed. I got to go to work in the morning.
Bro, it hasn't been 2 hours yet.
It's like 11.
I'm joking. I'm joking. Yeah. I'm going to go make more pizza anyway.
It's like 9 p.m. for you right now?
Yeah, it's 9 o'clock.
Yeah, it's 11. Do you see these white hairs? You see this?
Bro, you see my bald ass head?
I don't mean to laugh. You know what? My contribution to you is when I cut my hair, I'm just gonna send it to you.
Perfect, man. Let's go to Turkey. Let's go to Turkey. I'll get a hair transplant from your head.
Oh my God. Oh, here we go. Shane Dasher weighs. How difficult is it to get a dyno spot for your shop? It's actually pretty easy. If you are looking to get dyno tuned, we generally have room. We have room pretty much every day. Our tuner does like 1 car a day.
Can I caveat off that?
Yeah.
So I've been seeing all the TikToks you're doing for Ecotech.
Mm-hmm.
Quit making back-to-back same videos on dyno tips. My lord, man. I watched like 8 of these videos.
Oh, but they were different tips though.
I don't care. Put other videos in between them, dude.
My goal was like, because those are like the first 5 videos that were on the channel. I just wanted to put some shit out there.
Bro, mix it up, please.
I don't even know if it's working, dude. I I don't even want
I
to
don't
get
know.
into
I'm
the whole
terrible
ecotech
at
thing.
TikTok. I just upload a lot of shit talk to TikTok. To be honest,
Yeah,
that's all I really
I
do.
started just uploading like our dyno pulls. At least like the one I did with the FL5. Like everybody's still arguing about. I don't even know what the hell they're arguing
I
about.
didn't see that one.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. It made like a 384. I've been meaning to talk to the guy to bring him to the channel so we can do a race because like 384 versus 384 is great.
There's Ecotech. I'll go search Eco.
Yeah, find it's
Is it
yeah.
ECO? ECOT.
Yep, ECOTAECH.
Ecotech.
Yeah, it's like 9,100 views and people are still arguing about whatever the fuck. they're
Bro,
arguing
you guys
about.
don't even come up on my thing when I search Ecotech.
Well, that's how lowly we are. But I mean, that's not it. We're starting from zero. I'm not surprised.
Bro, even if I search Ecotech Subaru, I can't find you guys.
Ecotech. Do Ecotech import? That'll get you there.
Ecotech. See, you didn't
Yeah,
tell me there's
Shane.
more
If
to
you're when it comes to the dyno, it's not that bad. We're not that backed up on the dyno.
There you go. Here, look. I'll give Ecotech a follow.
Thank you. I think I'm pretty sure like almost everybody at the shop knows who you are, and our engine guy was like, "Oh yeah, I've seen him build a few engines or whatever," but he didn't really say anything. Now I'm gonna ask him, but I'm gonna make sure you're on the phone with me when he does. He's gonna say like a bunch of crazy
He's gonna
shit.
say he's gonna
I'll be
talk some
like,
smack.
yeah, and I'll be like, "Oh, hold on, let me tell him real quick."
Hey, I've been sending people your guys' way out in Missouri and whatnot, so hopefully
Really?
that helps.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm still working on the website. The website sucks, but
Yeah,
I gotta
I
fix
had
it.
someone email me looking for a shop out in Missouri. I was like, "Hey, have you tried these guys?" They're like, "No, I didn't even know they were a thing." I was like, "Yeah,
I
go
know.
hit them up."
That's the problem. That's what I'm working on is trying to get our name out there a lot more because it really is a quality shop. Like it.
I just told them that I don't know anything about the shop. I just told them to go there because my buddy Oasis works there.
Sometimes that's all you need.
That's all I told.
You know.
That's all I.
And our owner is he's 100%. Like honesty is far more important to him than money is, which sometimes is a detriment to our bank account. But I'd rather have it that way than him just like taking people's money because like he really does do like a lot for a lot of people. Pete Santos, this is actually, can y'all do a let's rate people's exhaust or build video? That actually would be really fun to do.
I used to do those.
We should just get a bunch of people to send in shit and just roast their cars. That would be fun. I would love to do that.
Matt and I used to do those years ago, but not enough people were watching, so we stopped doing them.
The great thing is on my channel, not a lot of people is my regular number of viewers. So.
No, I mean this was like maybe like I think it was like 60 people.
What, dude? Today there's no way.
And I think the only people that were watching were the ones who submitted their cars.
Dude, we could do that. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
This was a long time ago, though.
I think that would be a lot of fun.
I'm down.
Shane says, would you suggest going through Adam? I think it's totally up to you. Adam is incredible at tuning. So if you wanted to just get done right away, go that way. If you have a particular preference to go with Graham, I'm not opposed to it. Obviously,
I've been using Graham, so I'm tuning with Graham for the first time, and he's been communicative. You
can say it. I've said it myself.
Yeah, I mean he's a little bit slow with revisions and whatnot, but he'll explain things, he'll answer questions.
Yeah.
If you want him to tune your car and you'll like need a remote tuner, not bad guy.
And he does,
especially if you buy a GR Corolla. He knows what he's doing.
He does remote tune at our shop. He's actually Misha, our shop owner, and Graham, they're like best buddies for like 30 years. So Misha actually helped set up his dyno cell in Iowa. So there's a lot of like connectivity between Ecotech and the rest of like the Midwest, but a lot of people just don't know that. And I didn't even know that until I started working there.
I didn't even know they were a thing until you told me about them.
I know. That's the problem. Like they do such great work, and anybody that has a Subaru from around like the 3 hours comes here.
I don't want this to come off sounding bad, but I've never seen their work.
Yeah. I understand.
That's something that you should put on TikTok.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anybody actually knows the quality I don't like. I don't want this to come out sounding bad because,
Uh-huh.
like I said, I've never seen their work, but I don't know if it's quality.
Right.
Nobody else probably knows if it's quality.
And that is exactly what I'm working on, is trying to get more of that shit out there. It's just like we have.
I know what to do to my car before I take it to the dyno at Ecotech, though.
As
I
long
know
as you
that
watch
for
those
damn
5
sure.
shorts I put on. Okay. I want to. We're pretty much coming to the end of this, but I want to say, first of all, thank you to you guys who actually come out to watch these live streams. I know that I didn't even tell anybody that this was happening. We just started.
No, we just did it. I mean,
We
I had
just did
fun
it.
doing it.
You
Drank
know-
a couple beers with a buddy. And
Oh,
talked-
dude, yeah.
talked-
I'm deep, bro. I need to go eat some food. But I appreciate everybody coming out, and more importantly, I actually appreciate you for taking the time, because before I even started all this, I thought like you were up here and kind of, I didn't really know your personality, because like you know how it is. When
Yeah.
you talk to some YouTubers, sometimes they got like a stick up their ass because I think they're amazing or whatever. If you guys remember the second tuner talk I did, I actually asked Tanner to do it, even though he wasn't actually a tuner, but I just thought that, it would be cool to have him on the channel because he does everything Subaru. And he said yes. It took a while because I think you didn't see my email, and so I sent you like
Yeah,
a
I don't
follow-up
think I saw
email.
it first.
He said yes, and I still was like, I was telling my wife, I was like, you're not gonna believe it. These YouTubers literally come to my channel. I can't even believe it. And she's like, wow, you're like just straight up fangirling right now. I was like, yeah, you don't even understand. Like, just shut up. You don't know anything. And then after a while, I was like, man, he is actually a very
He's a
fun-
normal person.
Well, I mean, he did say that VBWX drive is exactly like a GR Supra. So there is
It's
that.
true. I did say
There is
that.
that.
I did say that.
It is good that we have this relationship because it is fun. I like talking to you.
You're my friend now. So we come on
friends.
here, we talk
like
shit
this.
and drink. We drink Coors.
Yeah. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. We're gonna work on trying to do a better. But we got to do more.
We just
live
need to get better
streams.
about scheduling.
We need to do a lot more live streams. Yeah, and it's hard. Like,
I
you
used
work,
to do
I
it
work.
twice a week when I had more time.
Oh my god, twice a week. I
I
can't
still-
even imagine.
For like 2 years straight, I did them twice a week.
Oh my god, this is okay. Last question. Studio
Is it the
said,
Scooby Doo?
"No, I'm not even gonna touch that."
Oh.
HeavyMetalWRX, would you ever consider a used Mercedes CLA 45S or a V60 Polestar? The cost about the same as the new Type R, Golf R, GR Corolla. I don't even know what that Mercedes is. Mercedes
CL45.
what? CLA 45S? What the hell is
I don't
that?
even know what that is.
It's like just a 4-door sedan, turbo sedan. Is
You
it
guys
turbo?
coming to Boston? I'm on the opposite side of the country from Boston.
Actually,
if we go to PA though, then maybe.
I do go to Boston. I have one of my really good friends is out in Boston, and I've been out there a few times. I actually have been trying to get back out there again.
Right. I've never been
That'd
on
be
the
awesome.
East Coast.
Dude, we should go to Boston. It's amazing. That's really nice.
Massachusetts.
AMG turbo 4-cylinder versus a V60 Polestar.
Okay, I'm getting out of here. I'm going to make pizza.
Hold on. V60 Polestar. What is V60 Polestar?
I'm hungry.
Just because it's Mercedes between Mercedes and Volvo, I would get the Volvo no matter what it is.
I would also pick Volvo.
I don't even care what the car is. It could be like a fucking turd. I still get that. But anyway, thank you all for coming to this live stream. We really appreciate it. Tanner and I are going to go eat. You guys
I'm
have a
gonna make
great
pizza.
night. Great rest of your Sunday.
Reefy,
and
I've
we'll
seen
see
your
you-
email. I just haven't had time to get back to it. Put your wiener in your pants and I'll email you back later tonight. All right, I'm out of here. I'm going to make pizza.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.